Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahawashi. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahawashi. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahawashi.
Hebrew Israelites, Kwam Yashala.
It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahawashi. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
Welcome to another class with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're going to do how we always do, get this class rolling. We are live here in H-Town, 8524 South Braeswood. If you don't know, now you know. We're going to go ahead and get class rolling. We're going to do like we always do, start with questions. And then go into class for tonight. It's going to be a good class. So let's go ahead and first get the link out. Get the linky link. And see if we got any questions online. Let's see here. We ask that y'all like, share, subscribe. You brothers and sisters that have been continuously with us and getting class all the time. If y'all feel like you're affiliated with the school, we ask that y'all share our videos. We also have classes in San Antonio, classes in Albuquerque. Our classes here in H-Town are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10, and then Fridays from 6 to 9, and then Shabbat morning classes from 10 on. So, yeah, if y'all know people, please like, share, subscribe to the videos. We got a lot of topics on there, and a lot of our classes are really chunky and meaty. Got a lot of information in them, so please do that. Like, share, and subscribe. We also got the Hidden Truth cable show back running, and we're going to be local here in Houston on Comcast 17 very soon. So we got some videos we're going to push out before they go out local here in Comcast 17. So look out for that, you brothers and sisters on YouTube. The first one we did, some of y'all probably got a glimpse of it because it uploaded without us editing it, but we did the one on Issachar. Okay, a lot of information. So give us a little time on that, because I gotta edit that. I will not let any other hands edit that. I will be the editor on that, because I want every book, all the information to come out correctly on there. So look out for that. Our Hidden Truth Bible show. Please check out Mashaba, blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, and that's Monday through Fridays at 9:30 a.m. If you want a garment, okay, if your ribs don't do garments and you need one, please check us out, check the sisters out on Israel Wear on Facebook. That's Israel Wear on Facebook. So check that out. All right? To reach me tonight, if you want to get a hold of me, I'm at 281-707-2737. Or you can go do like you brothers and sisters always know you can do. Go through the YouTube and make your question, put your question in there. What else we got here? Hopefully it's up and running at isbhpk.org. You can check us and email us. And y'all already know if you want to give any donations or any alms, the information will be on the screen. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get these link out. Let me send it out real quick. Bear with me 1 second, because there's a few brothers and sisters I know that I talk to. I want to make sure they get the link also. Con. Yeah, Shabbat Shalom to everybody online. And let me see if I can get this link out real quick. Let me see here. And once again, we'll try to get out some questions before we get into class. It's already 6:22, so if you brothers and sisters got any questions online, now is the time. Will forever hold your, no. Till tomorrow morning, you're gonna have to hold your peace. Let me see. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna say the water for y'all support, you brothers and sisters, for your positivity. Y'all that be out there and communicate civil, we appreciate that. We know we get a few randoms on there that just is on some Rambo stuff, but we can't worry about that. We're gonna keep just moving forward. We try not to get in all that argument and all that madness on there. So, all right. Do we got any questions on there so far? All right. What we got?
What's the Hebrew word of servile and its meaning? Servile.
I'm gonna have to look that one up myself. So let me see here. Servile and its meaning. And if you got a good app, Bible app, it'll go over the Hebrew. So it says here, servile, and this is from the Strongs. This is ibadah, which is work of any kind, act, bondage, bond servant, effect, or labor, ministry, office service, tillage, use, work, wrought. So that's the definition of servile. And that's, I just went to Leviticus 23 verse 7. Like I said, if you got a good Bible app, it comes with the Hebrew, and you click on the concordance number. The concordance number is H5656, and if you got a concordance, if you're old school, and you got an actual concordance, you can look that up, and it should match up. Bada, right? Bada, which is servile. Once again, it says work of any kind, act, bondage, bondservant, effect, labor, ministering, office, service, tillage, use, work, wrought. So there it is. All right. What else we got? Yeah.
Will righteous Gentiles have everlasting life, or is that only for Israel?
Will righteous Gentiles have everlasting life? That's only Israel. I haven't seen where that was promised to the nations. Once again, this is a topic obviously that is in y'all head and in a lot of new brothers and sisters' head, but when you go to the basics and the scriptures and the promises, you know, you got to see those promises were made to Israel. They were made to the Israelites. Go to Romans real quick. Let's go New Testament on them real quick before we go Old. Go to Romans. Romans. I think it's, let's see here. Romans 9 and verse 1. Romans 9 and 1. Make sure you put those questions on the bottom of this. Yeah, make sure that you can see it too. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 9 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
I say the truth in Christ. I lie not.
Yeah.
My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost.
Right.
That I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren.
Right. So he's saying that he wished he was going through, he would take on that burden that Yahawashi went through for his brethren. Go ahead.
My kinsmen according to the flesh.
Right. Why is Paul having to say this? Because there was, even back then, they were saying that the Israelites are done away with, or that the Israelites, it doesn't matter. They were saying that Paul was saying, or they misinterpreted Paul for saying that it didn't matter. So Paul had to come back and shut that down. He had to shut that down. He had to show them that, nah, that's not what I'm saying. A lot of times when you read Paul, he had to come back and say, hold on, you guys, y'all don't understand what I'm saying. And he would come back and edify and show them when it came to the law, circumcision, when it came to the covenant, the promises. You know, he had to come back and reiterate and show them that y'all don't get it. So Paul's doing that here. Go ahead.
Who are Israelites?
Right. Who are what?
Israelites.
Right. Who are Israelites? Go ahead.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
This is a very important scripture. Because if you read this scripture, it's telling you right here that the Israelites pertain the adoption. So if I were to get a concordance and I was to look up the word on adopted or adoption, right?
Done.
It's talking about Israelites. what I'm saying is that when you look up the word adoption in the Bible, when it speaks of the people being adopted back to the Most High, now you can clarify through your mind and understand that that was talking about Hebrew Israelites. Okay? So that's what a lot of people don't get, is that, and Paul is clarifying that the adoption, when it said they're adopted back, that was Israel. Or they're adopted in, that was Israelites. So this verse right here clarifies that. Go ahead.
And the glory.
Right, so, and the glory. What is the glory? Who knows what the glory is? What?
The rulership that
you got to talk a little louder so they can hear you online.
The rulership, the kingdom, the authority being above,
right?
Only,
right?
Being the top dogs on planet Earth.
There you go. That's the glory. The glory is all those things that the Most High said He would do in glorifying us. That's the Israel. See, a lot of people don't get that. So instead of me going to the Old Testament this time, it's easy right here. Even in the New Testament, He's showing you that the adoptions, the glory, go ahead.
And the covenants.
What the what?
Covenants.
What or what? S. You know why? Because you got the old covenant and you got the new covenant. Who did He say He was going to create the new covenant with? In the Old Testament, He said it. I'll make a new covenant with the house of Israel. He didn't say with everybody. See, there's the misconstrued mind state, is that, oh, this is towards everybody. These promises and things that the Most High made were for Israelites. They weren't for the nations. Go ahead.
And the giving of the law.
Right. Go ahead.
And the service of the Most High.
Was for who? Israel. Was for Israelites. Go ahead.
And the promises.
And the what?
Promises.
And the what?
Promises.
Right. So what were you promised? Who were those promises to? You see that? Who was that promises to? That promise was to Israel. So for us to understand promises, let's go back and see where the promises were made. Who were these promises made to? Go back. And I say go back because we touched on this a little bit the other day. Go to Isaiah 65, I think it is. I think it is. Let me see here. Or you might be right. It might be. Uh, 65 and 17. Let's get some promises.
Come.
65 and 17.
Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 17.
Do we got any of those big highlighters? Fat ones in the back? Right there? No, like right there. Go ahead, read that. Isaiah 65 and 17. And let's read some of these promises. Go ahead.
For, behold, I created new heavens and a new earth.
Right. Remember we went over this the other day? This was the promise that the Most High promised Israel. There's none? Go ahead.
And the former shall not be remembered.
Go ahead.
Nor come into mind.
Uh-huh.
But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create.
Go ahead.
For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and for her people a joy.
Right.
And I will rejoice in Jerusalem.
Uh-huh.
And my joy in my people.
You see this? That's the promises. Now these are written way back, right? During the time of Isaiah. He's saying, this is going to happen because it was a promise that if you continue to do the will of the Most High, you have something to look forward to. That was promised to Israel. So when you say everlasting life, when you say kingdom, you say glory, you say all these things, it was promised to the Israelites. Go ahead.
And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her.
Right.
Nor the voice of crying.
Right.
There shall be no more thence an infant of days.
Right.
Nor an old man that hath not filled his days.
That's the promise. You understand that? Those are the promises. The kingdom, the power, rulership. Now we could go the whole class on this question, just going over the promises. What was promised only to Israel? See? So you can read Isaiah 65, Isaiah 60, Isaiah 14, Isaiah 2. You can read all these promises. That was promised to the Israelites. Go ahead.
For a child shall die 100 years old.
Remember this? We read these things. It was showing you that we're going to live. You would look at a child at 100 years old. A 100-year-old person will be called a child. That's the promise. That was promised to you. Go ahead.
But the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed.
Right. Go ahead.
And they shall build houses.
Uh-huh.
And inhabit them.
Right.
And they shall plant vineyards.
Right.
And eat the fruit of them.
Uh-huh.
They shall not build, and another inhabit. They shall not plant, and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people.
As the days of the tree are the days of my people. So if you want to look at how long these trees be living, right? He's given us a kind of a foresight of what is promised to the Israelites. So, you know, when you talk about these promises, you got to go through the promises. Watch. Go back to Isaiah 2. Go to Isaiah 2. Let me show you. This is the promise. And he got the Gentiles there too. But every time you read about the Gentiles, that ain't what was promised to them. So, no, that ain't going to be given to them. That's promised to you Israelites. Watch. Go to Isaiah 2 and 2.
Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths.
Right. So you see that, right? What the law is going to be in us, the Gentiles are going to be what? Having to relearn. You see that? They're going to learn the laws, statutes, and commandments. So yeah, don't get it twisted. A lot of people think that's going to happen, and and then poof, all the nations go up in smoke. Nah, there's nations that's going to survive in the last times. There's nations got to live through the last times. There's nations got to be put into captivity and slavery. See, that's the promise. But these last days, the nations shall flow unto the mount of the Lord. Go ahead.
For out of Zion shall go forth the law.
Right. Now, we're going to be teaching the law. They're going to have to learn the law. But Jeremiah 31 says the law will be in us, and we will no longer teach our neighbor. Why? Because the law is going to be in you. You are going to be twinkled. You're going to be changed. Not all nations. These are the promises. Not all nations are going to be changed. The Israelites are going to be changed, and the Spirit is going to be put on you. But them, they got to come up and go relearn the laws of the Most High. You see that?
Come.
Go ahead.
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Right.
And he shall judge among the nations.
Right.
And shall rebuke many people.
Right.
And they shall beat their swords into plowshares.
Right.
And their spears into pruning hooks.
Uh-huh.
Nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
Right.
Neither shall they learn war anymore. O house of Jacob, come ye, let us walk in the light of the Lord.
Why? Because it was promised to you. It was promised to you the things that were going to happen and all the things that would happen to you. And as you see, watch, go to Isaiah 14. The nations were involved, but not they're not sitting there with you. If you're in Jerusalem, what was Jerusalem going to be? A city of glory. Yahawashi was going to dwell in Jerusalem. Like I said, we could take the whole class for this, and we went over this, but I'm just trying to answer the question. You know, Yahawashi was going to sit in Jerusalem. Y'all remember that, right? When we went over Revelation 20, it said Yahawashi would be in the middle of Jerusalem. And we went through Isaiah. He would be there with us. He would be a shining light. It says they had to come up to Jerusalem. So they're not going to be there sitting with us in Jerusalem. They're going to have to come up to Jerusalem, and the gates are going to be open for them to bring their stuff, bring their jewels and riches and power, and set it before our feet. So they're not going to be there with us. All you got to do is just read the promises, and you'll see what was promised to us and what was promised, and the Gentiles, how they fit in. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
Right.
And will yet choose Israel. And set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and shall rule over their oppressors.
This is future. We know this didn't happen. Nobody's ruling over their oppressors. So if you start reading, and you can read down yourself, these are the promises that are future prophecies, that when we get into our land, what will happen to the Gentiles, what will happen to the nations, and what will happen to us. And from what we're reading, it don't look like that they're going to be sitting. Which one is it? Are we going to be ruling over them, or are they going to be sitting with us? When the scriptures don't say they're going to be sitting with us. It said we're going to rule over our oppressor. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear,
right,
and from thy hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve,
right,
that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
Right. Now jump over to the 21st verse. Like I said, y'all can read this, but I'm going to just show y'all something. You can go back and read this, because it's a prophecy of what's going to happen for us to get in our kingdom, the other nations, and the king of Babylon. And we know at this present time, this is America. Okay, but they will fall. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers.
No. His children are going to come up and sit down and eat with us.
Prepare slaughter for his children.
Right.
For the iniquity of their fathers.
Right.
That they do not rise nor possess the land.
I mean, y'all getting this? They're not going to possess the land with us. They're not going to rule with us. We're going to possess the land. It's simple. It's simple, man. You go through these basics. Jump over to Isaiah 65, and that'll be the last one on that. Like I said, we touch on this a lot, but hopefully this is answering your question right here. Go to Isaiah 65 and you read y'all can read Isaiah. No, not 65, 66. No, not 66. 60, sorry. 60, forgive me. Isaiah 60, and you read from verse 1. And you know why I don't like to skip verse 1? Because they quoted this in the New Testament. But the Old Testament is putting it in context of what the Most High promised. So I don't like skipping for verse 1 because it puts everything in context. Right? So read that. Isaiah 60, verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Arise, shine, for thy light is come.
Right.
And the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For, behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light.
The what?
The Gentiles shall come to thy light.
Right, we read that. We read it in Isaiah 2. We read it in Isaiah 14. We even read it in the New Testament. The Gentiles shall come to thy light, right? So they are going to come to the light. But how? What is this promise? They're going to come to the light like it says in Isaiah 2. That the earth is going to be taught the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. It don't mean the Gentiles are going to come into my light where we are here in captivity under them, under all the nations in slavery, being used, abused, shot, killed, murdered, and then they get to sit down and eat with us. He just said, prepare slaughter for their children. Because we're in their children, we're in their children's hand. Just like we're paying for our captivity and our slavery, we're the children of our forefathers. They got to pay for the iniquity of their fathers. But it says, they shall come to the light. Go ahead.
And kings to the brightness of thy rising.
Right.
Lift up thy eyes round about, and see. All they together themselves gather. All they gather themselves together.
Right.
They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side.
Because all of our children, all the children of Israel are going to come from all over. They're going to be brought. A lot of these nations are going to be bringing the children of Israel to the kingdom. Go ahead.
Then thou shalt see and flow together.
Right.
And thine heart shall fear.
Right.
And be enlarged.
Right.
Because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
Right. Now jump to verse 10. The forces of the Gentiles will come unto us. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And the sons of the stranger shall build up thy walls.
The sons of the stranger shall do what?
Build up thy walls.
No. How you? Which one is it? You gonna be sitting with us, eating grapes, and getting our nails done with us, or you're going to be doing what?
The sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls.
Go ahead.
And their kings shall minister unto thee.
No. They're going to be sitting with us.
Minister unto thee.
They're going to be ministering unto us. Go ahead.
For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I have had mercy on thee.
You see that? In my wrath I smote thee, but in favor I have had mercy unto you. Go ahead.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night.
Right.
That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
Right. They're going to bring unto us the forces of the Gentiles. Now, are y'all seeing this?
Done.
So this is answering your question online. How they going to eat? How they going to have everlasting life and be servants and slaves? The scriptures is telling you. These are the promises. Go ahead.
And that their kings may be brought. Verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
The nation and kingdom that will not serve thee. Wait, but if we're all eating together, why is that even an equation, right? If we were eating together, right, in all the nations, we were all just holding hands across the world, kumbaya, my Lord, then why would it even be an equation that you're going to perish? Because the fact is, it's not going to be that. It's going to be us ruling over all the nations And the nations coming and bringing their riches, their glory, and building up the world that has been, at this point in time, been beat down by the angels and the destruction, right? Outside of Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Yeah, you see that? So, I'm looking for one more that I want to go with this right here because it goes perfect, and I went over it. See if anybody can help me find it. It says, "You shall eat, and they shall, or you shall drink, and they shall be thirsty." I went over it the other day. I know it's in Isaiah. Goes right with this. Let me see if I can find it. You can go to the Isaiah 61:1, but that's not it. Isaiah 61:6. You said 65:10?
13.
Yeah, that's it.
It is.
Yep. Go to Isaiah 61:6, and then go to Isaiah 65:13.
Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 6. But ye shall be named the priests of the Lord.
Right.
Men shall call you the minister of our God.
Right.
Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles. And in their glory shall ye boast yourselves.
Y'all listening to this? Which one is it though? How are we gonna be eating their riches and having them as servants and slaves, but then we're boasting, so they're gonna boast that we're over them. We're gonna be boasting. That's confusion, man. The scriptures constantly tell you the promises. So y'all gotta see this, man. Jump to Isaiah 65:13.
Isaiah chapter 65,
12 and 13.
verse 12. Therefore I will number you to the sword. Therefore I will number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer.
Right.
When I spake, ye did not hear.
Right.
But did evil before my eyes.
Go ahead.
And did choose that wherein I delighted not.
Right.
13.
Go down a second. Clear your throat. Did you bring the tea like I told you?
I didn't think I was coming in.
You need tea. You need tea. You got to strip that throat. Go ahead. Read 13.
Verse 13.
Go ahead.
Therefore, thus said the Lord God. Behold, my servant shall eat.
Right.
But ye shall be hungered.
My servant shall eat, but ye shall hunger. Go ahead.
Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty.
Go ahead.
Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Right. Read.
Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart.
Right.
But ye shall cry for sorrow of heart.
Go ahead.
And shall howl for vexation of spirit.
They're going to be howling for vexation. Woo. Go ahead.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen.
Go ahead.
For the Lord God shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name.
Y'all listening to this? The Most High is not playing. And then it goes down where we read, verse 17. For behold, I will create a new heaven and a new earth. See, for Israel. That's why I said you got to read these whole chapters. Start from verse 1 all the way through. It tells you there's certain promises that the Most High made for the children of Israel. Isaiah 60, Isaiah 65, Isaiah 14, Isaiah 2, Isaiah 14. I said that. You got to read those, man. All right, so hopefully that answers your question. What else we got?
What did Yahawashi mean about the new covenant? Was it pertaining to the communion in the kingdom when we will drink of the new wine?
The new covenant. Go to Jeremiah. Yahawashi, what he meant about the new covenant was the same thing that the prophets prophesied about the new covenant. Remember, Yahawashi always quoted from the Old Testament. So let's get where the quote comes from. Jeremiah 31. And you're going to go to 31. Jeremiah 31:31.
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 31.
Go ahead.
Behold, the days come, said the Lord,
Right.
that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel,
Right.
and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand,
Right.
to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
So you see that? This is the new covenant, the new contract that he was gonna make with us. Go ahead.
Which my covenant they break.
Right. So we broke the old contract, the old covenant, but he was gonna make a new covenant. Go ahead.
Although I was a husband unto them,
Go ahead.
said the Lord.
Right.
33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, said the Lord,
Yes.
I will put my law in their inward parts,
I will put my law in their inward parts. Go ahead.
and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people.
So that's the new covenant, that he was going to put the law in our inward parts and write it in us. Go ahead.
And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor,
Right.
and every man his brother,
Right.
saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me.
Right. So the beginning of this new covenant was an accumulation of Yahawashi coming and dying for us on the cross to the kingdom. Because we know this law, when Yahawashi died, he came and showed us about the law, that the law is spiritual and we were carnal. But we had to live now by faith and by works and by the law. So he had to bring that understanding in the law for us to get to this kingdom. And in the end, as we move forward in this path, we know that the new covenant, the new contract is going to take hold of us, because when Christ comes back, he's going to do what? The law is going to be fulfilled in us. We're going to be little Jesus Christ, who they call, we know him as Yahawashi, walking around. And we're going to be doing his will. It will be written in our heart. Go ahead.
For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them.
So that's the new covenant that he promised. Excuse me. Yeah, the new covenant that he promised. So, along what lines are you speaking about this? Along what lines are you talking about, or you're trying to get understanding on? While we're reading, let me. Wow, really? Let me know when they respond. All right. And then, do we got any other ones on there? What's that?
Is the 144,000 all men, or both men, women, and children?
We'll wait to see if he responds. Now, while we're waiting for his response, go to Hebrews 10. And verse 9, and read down. Hebrews 10 and verse 9.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
Then said he, Lo, I will come. I come to do thy will, O God.
Right, go ahead.
He taketh away the first,
Right.
that he may establish the second.
So what did he take away? The first was the old contract, the old covenant. That way he may establish the second. The first had to be done away with because we broke the first. All the contracts and the writings and the law, we broke it. Okay? Go ahead.
By the which will we are. Excuse me.
Start over.
By the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Yahawashi once for all.
Right. So by the which we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Yahawashi once for all. So the second contract, Yahawashi came in and he laid down his life once for all. I'm going to say it again. There is no sacrificial law. Once for all, Yahawashi laid down his body. That's it. No more sacrifice. Go ahead.
And every priest standeth daily ministering and offering oftentimes the same sacrifices, which can never take away sins. But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins,
right,
forever, sat down on the right hand of the Most High.
Right. So Yahawashi, the last sacrifice, sat down on the right hand of the Most High because he did his mission. He fulfilled it. Right. He said, I finished the work. Right. Paul came back and said, I run the race. Right. Yahawashi did it. Go ahead.
From thenceforth, expecting till
from henceforth, expecting. Go ahead.
Till his enemies be made his footstool.
Because that's the written contract the Most High gave to Yahawashi, that all nations would bow and be under him. Go ahead.
For by one offering he had perfected forever them that are sanctified.
Right. So by one offering himself, his body, he had perfected forever them that are sanctified. So the ones that call themselves the sons of God, the chosen, they're sanctified through Yahawashi dying and laying down. They're cleansed if we so walk like him, right? All right, you got to put that in there for all the Christians. If we walk like him, if we suffer like him, we shall reign with him, right? It wasn't just that he did it and then you made it. There were stipulations also. Go ahead.
Wherefore the Holy Ghost also is a witness to us.
Go ahead.
For after that he hath said before.
Go ahead.
This is the covenant that I will make with them after those days.
You see that? Where is he quoting from? Where's Paul quoting from? Jeremiah 31:31. You see that? So that's the new covenant. Go ahead.
Said the Lord. I will put my laws into their hearts.
Right. So, but what had to happen for it to get there? Yahawashi had to come in and amend and fix what was messed up, which was us breaking the laws and commandments of the Most High. Yahawashi had to come in and now fix that. And he fixed that by being the ultimate sacrifice for Israel. Go ahead.
And in their minds will I write them.
Right.
And their sins and iniquities I will remember no more.
Why? Because this is the, remember, this is the accumulation of that. As we're fighting and putting on righteousness and holiness and truth, we will reach that point to where Yahawashi can come and say, okay, here's the twinkle. I'm going to fulfill the promise, which is that the law will be in you and you won't fight no more. You won't have to teach no more, okay? No more as neighbor of Israel. Okay, go ahead.
Now wherefore remission of these is, there is no more offering of sin.
Right, okay, so that's the new covenant. All right. So for that brother or sister that asked that, hopefully that answers your question on the new covenant. That's I'm not sure. Was there something specific, something else on that?
Yes,
They hasn't responded. Okay. Well, hopefully you can come in and if there was something that specifically you were trying to understand about that, you know, just hit back. All right. What else? What else? What other questions?
What can I do as a husband and a father to establish and improve on being a leader of my household and improve on communication in my household? My wife, word is first and last.
Is that Devin?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna answer that one. I'm gonna answer that one, Devin, because we're gonna finish class with that one. So what I mean is that's gonna be tonight's topic we're gonna go into, but because that's gonna be, I told you that would be a lot. All right, so we're gonna get the small ones out of the way. The quick ones we can just answer real quick. Go ahead.
I've been reading Ezekiel chapter 34 in the scriptures about Christ's resurrection and his promise that the disciples will do greater things than what they've seen him do.
Right.
Is it the glorified bodies? See him do, is it the glorified bodies?
Yeah. You understand what he's saying? Let me see. I've been reading Ezekiel chapter 34, the scriptures, about Yahawashi's resurrection. Ezekiel 34? Okay. And his promise that the disciples will do greater things than what they've seen do. Is it the glorified bodies? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, oh, is it the glorified bodies that will, are you asking, is it the glorified bodies that will do these greater things? Yes, it is. Because right now, these bodies are not going to do those things. And during this time, you know, think about it, man. You got to think about it. Brothers and sisters join camps for many different reasons. Imagine if you got one brother or two brother, right, have the power of the so-called Benny Hinn, right? Everybody be running to that camp. I'll be running to them because I want to get healed. I want to be brand new, right? So yes, that's going to be in the future, man, when the Most High gives us that power, because right now you got to think about it. That you got brothers, sisters, Israelites power tripping on the smallest things. You got people calling themselves the Comforter. You got people calling themselves they're the home of the truth, and the truth ain't only through them. You got people saying that they're they're the way, the truth, and the life. You got people saying they're Christ. So imagine if you add spiritual power or X-Men powers to them. These people, they'd be lost, man. A lot of people will be joining and doing it just for visual, just for carnal reasons. So yeah, those things that are going to be given to us are going to be in our glorified body. We're going to be able to do a lot of those things that Yahawashi done and greater. Right. No, it's all good. It's all good. But I hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure what you mean on the Ezekiel part, or if that was a question or a statement. But as far as the glorified bodies, yeah, that power is not going to be given to us right now. after the 1,000-year rulership and the Gentiles go back to their own lands, they'll still be able to die? Quick yes or no questions. Yeah, they will still be able to die. Yes. All right. So, what other questions on there?
That's the last one, and then just the one about the 144,000.
Oh, the 144,000? I thought I missed that one.
If it consists of men, only men, or men, women, and children.
No, the 144,000 consists of, you got to think about it. I'm going to show you. Go to Matthew's. Go to Matthew's 19. Matthew's 19 and 27. Check this out. And this is on the question of the 144,000. What was the question? How does it? Let me see. The 144,000.
As I said, is the 144,000 all men?
Right. Is 144,000 all men, or it says both men, women, and children? I'm gonna show you something. Go read this, Matthew's 19. And you're going to start at 27.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 27.
Yeah.
Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all,
right,
and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahawashi said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration.
Right. So remember, these ones that have forsaken all are the same ones in Revelation that had the palms in their hands, dressed in white robes. These are the same ones in 2nd Ezra 13 that were dressed in white robes and that stood before Yahawashi. They're the same ones. Okay? These are the same ones that in Revelation 7, the 144,000. Okay? Go ahead.
In the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory.
Go ahead.
Ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones.
Right.
Judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right. So they're going to judge the 12 tribes of Israel. Now this was a promise to what? This is a promise to who? Who's awake? I'm just asking to see who's awake. Who's this a promise to?
For Israel, for the 144?
Right, it's 144,000. Who else? What?
I was going to say what he said.
Raise your voice.
I was going to say what he said.
Okay. Who is he talking to right here?
Oh, the apostles.
Khan. Shata. Who is it?
The apostles.
The apostles. I was trying to give everybody else. The apostles. His promises to the apostles. And what has he said here? They have forsaken what? All, right?
Come.
What have they forsaken? Go ahead and read down.
Verse 29.
Now, we already know that in the regeneration, they're going to do what? They're going to sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel, right? These 144,000 are going to sit on thrones judging the world, right? They're going to be the ones, the government. Okay? They're different from the 1/3. 1/3 of Israel is going to be saved. But out of that 1/3, the 144,000 is a different. Right? Listen, the 12 apostles is different also. Because they're going to be above the 144,000. Okay? Just like Yahawashi is going to be above him. Okay? You see that? So, but there's a key point in here. He's letting us know. We have forsaken all, right? And those ones that forsaken all, they're going to be set up judging. Read on.
Everyone that has forsaken house, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife,
right,
or children,
right,
or lands,
right,
for my name's sake,
go ahead,
shall receive 100-fold.
They're going to what?
Receive 100-fold.
So what is it saying? They're going to have what in the kingdom? Nobody gets it? All right, let's try it again. It was one of those dramatic pauses where they were supposed to, yeah, I got it. Let's try it again. It's the Shabbat. Everybody's in Shabbat mode. Read it one more time. Verse 29. Let's see if they get it.
And everyone that has forsaken house,
right,
or brethren.
So you gave up houses. You gave up family members. Go ahead.
Or sisters.
You gave up sisters. Right? Your sister had a problem, and you didn't run to her rescue and put the Most High in the back burner. Your brother had a problem. You didn't put the Most High in the back burner and say, you know what? I got to go be with my family. My family needs me, right? You know, Yahawashi, your family's outside. Who is my mother and who is my brother? But those that do the will of the Most High, they can wait, right? So they forsaken mother, brethren, sisters, go ahead.
Or father.
Or what?
Or father.
Well, I got to stop doing the work, and it's going to take me away from doing my duty to the Most High, because my Father, He wants me to do what He wants me to do. My mother wants me to do what she wants me to do. So I got to put off with, oh, well, hold on a second. It's gonna interrupt what my mom got me doing, and with the service, the ministry, the duty, the office of the Most High is. Go ahead.
Or mother. Or wife.
Go ahead.
Or children.
Right.
Or lands.
Right. So mother or wife. Oh well, hold on a second. My wife said, her said I can't be over there with y'all because y'all take up all her time. Right. Those that have wives be as though they had none. So now I gotta put the Most High first, right? And children. Well, my kids need me. And lands. Well, you know what? I need to get this money. I got to get these lands. I got to get this property, right? Go ahead.
For my name's sake.
Go ahead.
Shall receive 100-fold.
They're gonna what?
Receive 100-fold.
You're gonna get it back. You're going to get it back. So if you get it back, then we're going to have mother, father, sister, brethren, wives, and children. Right? In the kingdom. The 144,000 are going to have wives and children. It's not just going to be 144,000 hairy guys. It's going to be 144,000 men. Some of them are going to have wives. I'm not saying some of them, all of them are. But some of them will have wives and children. Right? Because they gave up a lot of these things. Okay? And I'm saying that for the simple fact that some brothers, it's coming to the time and age, man, to where you got brothers in the truth, they don't even want to be bothered with a woman. So, the 144,000 are going to have children and are going to have wives, and some won't. That's not going to be the equation that held them back, though. It's not going to be something that held them back from the kingdom. Yeah.
So the 1/3 is going to be saved, but out of the 1/3,
It's 144,000.
So it's not a whole 1/3, really. So we have less people.
Well, it's 1/3. I mean, it's 1/3 of the children of Israel.
So when you're saying that the 144 is going to judge us, are we not going to be good? Are we not going to be perfect in the kingdom?
No, they're just gonna be the governing. They're gonna be the ones that are gonna go out and get the nations and get them in order and set structure and order and things amongst us. But because we know, we just read earlier, the law was gonna be in our inward part. It's not gonna be to judge us. It's gonna be to judge the nations, right?
But they will teach the nations.
Huh?
They will teach.
They're gonna teach the nations.
In
It's going to be a lot of war. There's going to be wars with nations. It's going to be, because a lot of these nations, it says, if they will not come bending unto thee, they're going to be destroyed. So a lot of these nations ain't going to come. They're going to try to sit over there in their land and still praise Buddha, Hindu, you know, Hare Krishna. They're going to still praise Allah, the cobblestone. They're not going to come willing. So we're going to have to go get them in order. And the Most High just has a structure in doing that. You know, just like any kingdom, there's got to be order, right? So this government is going to set up that order. You see that? Okay. So hopefully that answers your question about the 144,000. Good question on that. All right. Now, right, there you go, sis. Con. Because I can't read it. I can't read it when you put it all small. That's perfect. All right, so we're going to get into this other question. And the question is, wait, I just seen that question. The question is, go ahead and read the Brother Devin's question again. I thought I had that here. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong phone.
What can I do as a husband and a father to establish and improve on being a leader of my household?
Right. What could you do to establish to be a leader in your household? Go ahead.
And improve on communication. In my household, my wife, word is first and last.
He said and or in?
In my household and my
He
wife.
said in my household. Go ahead.
And my wife. And then he's making a statement. Word is first and last.
Right. Well, the thing is this, that your wife has to be a God-fearing woman. Okay? And I know the brother that's asking the question, brother from Philly, your wife has to be a God-fearing woman. So the only way to establish this structure in your household is to establish the Bible in your household. See, it's very important. You got to establish the scriptures in your household, and you got to put the structure and the things back in order. And your wife needs to understand how to be subject to the order of the Most High and the things that things that you got going on and how you want to do things. So, you know, just some basic scriptures, and you probably heard these, but just really quick, go back to 1 Corinthians 11:1.
First Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1.
Right. And it says here, though through the Most High's eyes, how can I improve my leadership in my household? He worded it a different way here. My wife jump on situations faster than me or cut me off before I can have my input, so that whatever the situation is, it comes out the way she wants it. Doing so, our kids look at her as the head of the house, which has maybe my voice second to hers. Also, some lost respect, and sometimes I let her have it to avoid conflict. See, you can't let her have it, and you got to establish order in the household. She's got to be a God-fearing woman. This is, y'all understand that, right? That nobody can force anybody to do anything. You can't go in the household and tie your rib down and beat her, and you can't go in the household and argue with her. You know, when I'm in my situation and my ribs get to that you can see it's an aggressiveness, I have to slow everything down. Let's slow it back down again and realize that sit down and be humble. You gotta slow everything back down, because what happens is, you know, my ribs do it too. Sometimes they're moving so fast, they're getting things done, and I can let them do what they gotta do. I don't have to be over them like with a cane and with a whip, because they've already understood how to establish yourself under the order. But sometimes when you give your wife that control and power, they can forget, dang, when my husband starts to put in input, I gotta sit back and let him run the house. So it's harder if they don't even got the knowledge. I'm saying that, and I've been dealing in my situation 14 and 16 years and all that. It's still, because they're human. So sometimes when they're running, you know, they know at this time how I want things done. And they know how to do things according to how my mind is. That's women that been in the truth 14 and 16 years. When you just are establishing a relationship and your wife doesn't know about order and the respect and the commandments and the will of the Most High, the first thing that needs to be established is the will of the Lord. So go to Corinthians 11 and 1. Then we'll go to some of y'all favorite scriptures, your sister's favorite scriptures, 1 Peter 3 and 1. I know you already got them. Right? Go ahead and read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1.
Right.
Be ye followers of me.
Right.
Even as I also am of Christ.
Right. So she has to follow you based on Christ. Because, listen, man, if it ain't on Christ, then she's a worldly woman. And the fact is that you can pick up any worldly woman out there and tell them to put on a dress, to obey your husband, to be submissive, to be obedient, to be in order, to be righteous. They're going to look at you and laugh. Because they ain't order, submissive. They don't know these words. They don't comprehend that mind state. So for what you're saying is, and once again, me knowing about your situation, you're new to the knowledge. You're new to the word. So you being new to the word, you got to understand that you have to establish this commandment in the house. She's got to follow you while you're being a servant of Christ. That's the only way it's going to work. It's not going to work she worshiping the devil and you worshiping the Most High. Or you worshiping the devil and she worshiping the Most High. You guys got to sit down and come to the agreement and say, okay, do we both believe in the Bible? Raise your hand. Yes, I believe in the Bible. Do you believe in the Bible? Yes, I believe in the Bible. Okay, so if we believe in the Bible, what does the Bible say? Read it again.
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
So what is a follower of Christ established? Go ahead.
Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things,
right,
and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Somebody give him some tea. It says that you need to keep the order. There's certain ordinances that are established by the will of Christ. Right? So what was the order Paul was talking about? Go ahead.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
That's right. So our head, because the man, you got to come back and understand your head is not gold, rims, blunts, money, dope. Well, I got to live my life. I got to establish my own thing. It's the will of the Most High. It's what he called you as a man. He said, the flock of my pasture of men. So you got to understand your service. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. So the order, God, Christ, man, and woman. Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is the Most High.
God, Christ, man, woman, and then the children come under that. So this has got to be established in your household. But once again, you can't tie nobody down. You know what I mean? I can't tie you down and be like, listen, you're going to come to class. I know if you're not about the knowledge, then you got to do your thing. It says, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. But could I come to your house and be like, ah, you got to get this knowledge? You can't do that. You can't force your wife. You can't force your husband. So you guys got to come to an agreement and understand, who do y'all serve? Do you serve God or the devil? That's what you have to understand. So go to 1 Peter 3, verse 1. What's up, Ak? Question. Oh, you were just saying the Most High.
Yeah.
You were saying the Most High. Come. 1 Peter 3, verse 1. Read that.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives,
Uh-huh.
be in subjection to your own husband.
Go ahead.
That if any obey not the word,
Right.
that they also may without.
Right. Let's start it over. Let's start it over. Let's read it again and let's establish. Get that. Let's spit a racial. Let's go. Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives,
Uh-huh.
be in subjection to your own husband.
Right. So, sisters, somebody get me the Black Dictionary and let's look up the word subjection. So this is what has to be established in your household. It says, likewise, ye wives. Somebody look it up on the phone too. Likewise, the wives were supposed to be in subjection. So what does the word subjection mean? Because you're not going to establish your household until this order is established. The man got to be established as subject to the Most High. The woman got to be established and subject to her husband. Right? Now, I'm speaking in this context. I always say it, and you'll hear me say it a million times over. He's not beating you, tying you up, burning cigarettes on you, you know, walking in the house, kick you in the face. Then you should be subject to your husband. And I say that because the Most High is not good. The Most High is not dealing with a husband that's abusive, that's beating his wife. First of all, he's not righteous if he's doing that. If he's talking, cursing you out all the time. Yeah, he's cursing you. No, y'all get it. I know. It's okay. He's not cursing you out all the time and calling you names. You dirty this, you dirty that. You filthy garbage. Like, that shouldn't be in your relationship, man or woman. Right? If he's if he's fighting and doing and trying to be right, you got to be subject to him, excuse me. Because a lot of people don't understand that. And that doesn't mean, you know why it went drastically? Because you're going to make mistakes. Who's perfect? Who's righteous? Who's more righteous than thou? The scriptures say we all fall short, right? Everybody makes mistakes. So yeah, the husband is going to make mistakes still. But does that mean you come out with torches and thorns and see, I gave you the power and you a dumbass nigga? Nah, man. Because if that's the case, he can do that with you all the time. See, I let you use your brain a little bit and you don't know how to use it. Right? So you gotta see, men and women gotta understand that in your order, you still gotta follow the commandments. And come off this pedestal of thinking, oh, he has to be perfect. He's not gonna be perfect. He's gonna make certain decisions and it might not be totally on point. But you being a righteous woman gotta support and help him. Now, if he's a wicked nigga, getting high, doing dope, doing drugs, using you for your money, and then trying to use the Bible, I got to say this one. He's using you for your money, but trying to use class in the Bible to keep you in order, for you to keep giving him the money. No, you ain't got to listen to that nigga. I'm going to say it again. If he's trying to use the Bible and get you to come to class so you can be in order with the scriptures, but he can go out there and smoke weed, do his thing, because he don't want to do the commandments, and he don't want to follow the laws of the Most High, you don't got to listen to him. I'm going to tell you that right now, because you got some brothers trying to do that. They'll throw the Bible at you to be in order, but they won't follow the Bible at all. They'll twist the Bible for you to be in order, but when it's that time for them to be checked or corrected, they don't want to hear that. You ain't got to listen to that. That's it. If he's doing drugs and dope and crack, you ain't got to listen to him. That's wicked. That's a fornicator. He's fornicating with other gods. Same thing with the woman. You ain't got to obey that. You are not in bondage to somebody that's doing wickedness and corrupt. Just like this kingdom and rulership of this realm. We're not in order with them. We don't have to follow what they say, because it's not the laws of the Most High. You pay your tickets, you pay your taxes, you render unto Caesar what is Caesar. But do we have to follow Christmas? Hell no. Do we got to believe in the homosexuality and gay day parades? No. Do we got to go ahead and follow them, their police, and love their police force and their police brutality and their military? No. So we're dealing with righteous ruling and righteous rulership. Now that being said, I know this situation, the brother that's asking the question online, your husband ain't doing none of that. He's trying to learn and follow the will of the Most High. He's trying to do these commandments and do the will of the Most High. Right? So you have to follow him. You understand that? You have to follow what the scripture's saying. Go ahead.
Subjection.
Uh-huh.
One who's under the rule of another.
Right. I mean, all you got to do is look up the definition. This is a no-brainer. The scriptures say, wives, likewise ye wives, be under subjection. It says what? What is the definition?
One who is under the rule of another.
One that is under the rule of another. Right? I always use the example about work, right? You go to work, you're under the rule of your boss. You go to your boss, hey boss, I got this suggestion. Maybe we could do this like this and flip that and do this like this. And he looks at you and says, yeah, no, that doesn't sound like we're going to do that. You don't sit there and be like, why not? See, you don't appreciate me, who I am as an inward person. It's all about you. You do what? Okay. Con. Let me go. Yes, sir, boss. It's break time. I'm going to come on break. Because why? He gave you the break when you wanted the break. Well, he gave you the break at the time he said what the break was, right? Unless he said you can take the break anytime, but he even gave you that power. Right? You follow your boss' direction. Or do you spaz out on him? Who does that? Because I want to point out, I want to see who the beasts are. Well, I don't listen to my boss either. Yeah, you're an idiot. And that's why you probably jumping from job to job. You getting fired. Fired why? Because I don't have to obey nobody. You don't know order on any level. Because they try to come with that one. You know what I mean? They sit in here like, well, I don't listen to him either. He do what I say do. Right. But when you lose your job because you don't got no respect and order, then you're not going to have the things that you need. Subjection. What else do you got? We got anything better? What you got, Edith?
It says,
Edith.
being under the power and dominion of another.
Right. Being under the power and dominion of another. Wives, be under the power and dominion of your husbands. It says that, I don't want to jump on before we go into the definition. What else we got? Subjection meaning power and dominion. Go ahead. And I made it clear what husband this was. Because a lot of women, man, your husband ain't doing that. They're trying to get right. So you got to give them that power. You give that power to everybody else. You give that power to random, you will listen to random fools online. Random people, and you'll sit there and admire them. Wow, they're smart. Your husband tell you something, you like, yeah, but the reason why, but see, you say apple, I'm saying banana. You say up, I say down. You say high, I say low. It's like you at odds every way instead of obeying your husband. right? So you got to understand what the will and service and duty of the Most High is. This is what the Most High is. Now, if you want to know why, I can go into that too. This establishes a household. It keeps the children in order. It teaches your son what type of wife to get. It teaches your daughter what type of husband to have. It teaches your community what type of community keeps order, discipline, and love amongst the community. So all these things are broken down when you don't understand the commandment of the Lord. Wives, be subject to your husbands. If you have a baby, and you're telling your wife, babe, yeah, go over here and do this like this. And she's like, but why? But okay, guess what? Watch your daughters. Watch the daughters. They're going to be like what? All right. Okay. They're going to do the same thing. Watch the sons. The sons will be the weak nigga in the corner like, Mom controls dad. I'm going to get a woman that controls me. And he's real timid. He's real quiet. And he don't got, his manhood's being stripped right from his mama. Because why? Daddy, a Hebrew Israelite man, he can't choke her out. Right? He can't strangle the life out and the veins out of her eyeballs. Right? So he's got to sit there with wisdom and intellectually deal with you, right? But he sees his mom all the time doing what? Combating. He sees her haughty, disdainful, prideful, combative. He's either gonna what? It can get him to hate. What the brother say? The brother told me. He was like, man, I seen how my mom dealt with my dad. He was like, I didn't want to deal with a black woman. He said, I started dealing with every other nation. And that's how our people be. So this is the repercussions of not following the commandments. When you're not subject. That's why I always warn you, brothers and sisters, that don't have kids. Don't have kids until you are on the level to communicate. Because what's going to happen is that child is going to see that discord, fighting and arguing and yelling. And then the child's going to grow with that around him. Why do you think we'll be in the hood? Fighting, arguing, yelling, blunts, 40s, guns, shootings, killings. And then they grow up like what? I grew up in the hood. That's just how I got to be. No, you don't. You were destroyed for the lack of knowledge, and your parents didn't teach you right because they didn't have this knowledge. So I had to throw that tidbit in there to show you how by not following the commandments, you go back to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. You go back to the curses. So you want to come out of the curses. You shall know the truth and what?
The truth shall make you free.
You shall know the truth and the truth shall what?
Make you free.
The truth will make you free, right? So you're supposed to be free from a loud, barking woman. The woman is supposed to be free from a pan-sagging, blunt-smoking, tattooed, thug life only mentality man. We're supposed to be free from that. You come in the truth. Your pants supposed to come up. The dress is supposed to come on the woman. The thoughts and the mind state is supposed to change the environment, and your household is supposed to be established in peace. Not yelling and cursing and fighting in the house. Y'all choking each other out, and y'all like, nigga, you ain't nothing. Like, you ain't nothing. It's like, that's niggerism. That's a curse. It don't supposed to be like that. But where does it establish? Corinthians 11:1. God, Christ, man, woman. 1 Peter 3:1. The woman's supposed to be subject to the husband. Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband.
Go ahead.
That.
So subjection. What else? Dominion and rulership. Go ahead.
The state of being under the control and government.
Y'all understand this? The state of being under the control. You no longer have control. Hold that. Go to Ecclesiastes 25. And this is what a lot of women don't understand, man. a lot of women don't understand this. You are no longer under your own control. You are no longer under your control. Subjection means your husband is now under control. Go to Ecclesiastes 25, and you're going to read, hold where you're at in 1 Peter's. 1 Peter's, hold that, and go to Ecclesiastes 26. No, I'm sorry.
25?
No, 36:24. Excuse me. Go to Ecclesiastes 36, verse 24. So let's understand this, man. When you wives, you married this man. Stop thinking like America. Stop thinking like the white man. You know why you argue with your husband about everything? Because the white man put that in your head. I'm going to show y'all something. Go to Ecclesiastes 36, verse 24. And then we're going to go over to Deuteronomy. Go to Ecclesiastes 36, verse 24. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, and verse 24.
Go ahead.
He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession.
So, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is it telling the women? That they are a what?
Possession.
Read it again.
He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession.
He that getteth a wife getteth a what?
Possession.
A what?
Possession.
That his wife is his what?
Possession.
You are no longer yours. You are his possession. He owns you. Read the definition of subjection again, sis.
The state of being under the control and government of another.
It says the state of being under the control and government of another. The wife is now the possession of the husband. You are no longer under your control. What else you got in that definition? That's why we get the Black Dictionary. It's just a good dictionary.
Belonging to one's own mind and not to what is external.
Right. So now you no longer belong to your own mind. You no longer belong to your own mind. You know how you like to cook spaghetti before? Guess what? He don't like that. You don't like that. So he's like, you want meatballs in your spaghetti all the time, right? You want an Italian taste of it all the time. When she met you, all she did was get the ragu. I say ragu, they got the white. I'm going to get the whitest damn, no, what's the whitest one? Is it ragu? Yeah. But you get those like, it's been done. You get the whitest, unseasoned, untastable ragu sauce, the biggest ones from Walmart, and you just what? You made some sticky ass spaghetti, right? You boiled the spaghetti. It was still sticky and mushy. I hate it like that, right? It wasn't al dente. It wasn't professionally made. You boiled it, you threw it in there, you took it out, it was glue. You put the glue in there, and you picked the glue up in the noodles, and you slapped it on a paper plate, and you threw the ragu, and you smashed that on top, and you said, here, baby. Now, you did it from your heart. God bless your soul. God bless your soul. You did it from your heart. He ate it, and he said, being a good husband, this is good. No, to Kazakia. Next time, reminder, do not make the spaghetti like that. Because, you know, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat it. This is 40-year-old Kazakia, because 20-year-old Kazakia was like, yeah, this is disgusting. Take that back. 40-year-old Kazakia, I'll eat it, and I'll be like, you know what? This is good, babe. Oh, you are great. You the best. You beautiful. You smart, right? Babe, I was going to make spaghetti again. But make it this time. Make sure you put a little oil in your noodles when you boil them. That way they don't stick, okay? All right? You put a little bit of olive oil so the noodles won't stick. Take them out, drain them, right? The seasoning, this is how you're going to make the sauce. We're going to make it fresh. Go get some garlic. Go get some oregano. Go get some, right? I'm getting myself hungry. So, then she put her spirit into it like you want it. It's no longer your mind. You ate your spaghetti like that whitewashed spaghetti. You ate that damn whitewashed spaghetti because you didn't have a man. But your man came around and he said, this is how I want it. And guess what? You did it because Ecclesiastes 36, 20, where are we at?
24.
Go ahead, read it again.
He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession.
Beginneth a what?
Possession.
You beget a possession. You are now subject to him. Go ahead. Listen to this. Because it goes right with Peter's. Go ahead.
A help like unto himself.
A what?
A help like unto himself.
A help. Meaning that you like your socks this way, then that's how you get your socks then. You like spaghetti this way, that's how you get your spaghetti. You don't walk to the store and be like, damn, babe, that's a bad shirt. That's ugly. You gonna look ugly in that. It's like, okay. Like, yeah, baby, I was thinking about spaghetti today. I already had it planned out. We was gonna eat taco. See, every time I want to do something, you want to do the opposite. It's like, okay. It don't supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be your mind. You're his possession. You understand? Now, let's do the disclaimer. That doesn't mean the husband doesn't honor and respect his wife. But the classy, respectful, honoring, righteous woman, she knows that I already know what I got to do. Like in my household, I don't got to walk around with a shield on and a cape flowing and say, yes, I'm the man of this. Y'all niggas giving respect. You gonna put some respect. I don't got to do that. It's already known. Hey, babe, what do you want to eat? We're going to do this. What did you want separate? We're going to do this for the kid. It don't got to be the Thor hammer coming down. So don't get it misconstrued. This order is established already in the spirit, and with classy women, righteous women, they pick it up. And they know, let me do it his way. Let me do it how he likes it. You're not a bachelorette no more. You're not clubbing, and you're not just banging Tyrone in the bathroom mall no more. You are now a wife, right? And your duty is to your husband. So you have to be like your husband wants. Read it from the top. Read it again.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. A help like unto himself.
Right.
And a pillar of rest.
How are you going to be a pillar of rest? What is a pillar of rest, sisters? Who knows what a pillar is? What is a pillar, Amawana?
It's the support beam that holds the foundation.
There it is. The pillar is the support beam to the building that holds the foundation. You women are important. Very important. My wives know, y'all important. I honor my ribs, right? But you got to be in order for me to honor you. I can't honor a ratchet hood rat hoe that's disgruntled, loud, and disrespectful and argumentative. I don't give hoes honor. It said that woman is like what? Like what?
Counted as a dog.
Counted as a what?
A dog.
What is it, sisters?
A dog.
She's counted as a dog and is less like spittle. So that woman is like spit. But a righteous woman, and we'll get it, is a tower of death. She's a tower against death. Excuse me. She's a tower against death for her husband, right? So this is what it's saying. She is his possession. She wants to do it like he wants her to, right?
Gone.
All right. What else? Where else was I?
You said.
Okay, so go from there. So we're understanding about this word subjection. Subjection comes through my understanding that I'm no longer the single woman. I am now the wife of this man, and I got to be subject to his government, to his rule, to his mind, right? So when he likes something, I like it for him. Damn, baby. It's like, you know, like the Chinese women or the ones that ain't been Americanized. I'm not talking about these ones that pump their butt up on Instagram and that. I'm talking about the Chinese women or Hindu women from other countries, right? They want to do it like their husband. Damn, baby. Yeah, that's going to look good on you. I like that for you. You want me to get that for you? Yeah. Not like these black women and Hispanic women that has been Americanized. Not like the black and Hispanic women that don't obey the commandments. Right? They're against their husbands. I'm going to show you who they are. But let's talk about subjection. What subjection means. Go to Ecclesiastes 26 verse 14. Ecclesiastes 26 verse 14. So we're just talking about this subjection. What does it mean for her to be subject to her husband? Ecclesiastes 26 verse 14. What is the Most High going to judge you on? Your order is not to go out and teach the nations. Right? Your order is not, you don't got to go on the streets and hold posts and read and sweat in the middle of the day and teach your nation and lead your nation with counsel, wisdom, and understanding. Your job is more secreted, embedded in the fabric of the nation, which is the household, the structure. You're the pillar. You're the thing that's keeping him up afloat to be that good leader, that good man to the nation. See, but that's all frivolous if you don't understand how to be instructed and you don't understand that you're supposed to be meshed together in order, in one mind, in one judgment. If you don't know that, then it's chaos in the household. So that's why Christ said it. God, Christ, man, woman. The knowledge says it. Read. Come on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Right. So a subject woman, she is what?
A gift of the Lord.
Read it from the top.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Is a gift of the Lord. And that doesn't mean, because some brothers got it misconstrued, oh, only that type of woman is a gift. No. If that's the case, somebody raise your hand and go out in the street right now and find me a silent and loving woman. So you're saying that gift is never given of the Lord? No, it's there, but they got to be shown what they are. Just like you have to be shown what you are. Because some brothers, whoa, I can get any woman. That's a gift of the Lord. The Lord, yeah, it's a gift of the Lord, but you got to make it that. Anybody, show me a woman that's silent and loving just right off the bat. Show me a woman that's respectful and in order off the bat. You got to teach her, just like you as a man had to be taught to be a man, right? So don't misconstrue it saying, well, that's far from my reach. It's not far from your reach. It's embedded in the righteous women, and it comes out of her when you meet her and you show her. He said he will bring all things to your remembrance. Just like you didn't know you was a Hebrew Israelite, righteous man for the Most High. You thought you was a weed, smoking, killing, gangster disciple, crip, walking thug for the world, right? Or businessman, sellout for the white man, right? You didn't know that. But what happened? You got the knowledge and it came out of you that you were none of those things to the world. So if you lacked understanding and thought, oh yeah, a righteous woman, she's far, that price is far above Ruby. She's a gift and she's nowhere to be found. Where's she at? Stop it. You were found and you were garbage. So the women are found and the garbage got to be weeded out of them. It got to be weeded out of them. So it's telling us what it is that is going to weed it out of you. What's going to weed it out of you? 1 Peter 3:1. That wives be subject to your husbands. That you're supposed to know that you're a possession. In a possession, you're not going to be argumentative. You're not going to doubt and fight everything your husband. Why? because you want to be and be for him. So that's what subjection means, to be under his government, his rule, to be under his logic and his mind state. Go ahead.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
But there is none so much worth as a mind well instructed. So how is she going to be subject to you? How is she going to be in order with you? She's got to be instructed. If you're not willing to be taught, you will not be willing to be instructed. If everything I say come out of my mouth, for you women, if everything your husband says come out of his mouth, and automatically you had a plan that is opposite of his, you got issues. If your mind was already like, yeah, but I was thinking opposite, you got a demon on you. Because the Bible said you were supposed to be subject to him. You're his possession. So why are you ready to be instructed according to what he wants? Why? You can be subject to everybody else. Your random girlfriend that don't know crap but how to let every other man leak in her. You will sit there and listen to her and be like, yeah, I see what you're saying, right. Damn, for real? And you would sit there and watch TV and movies and all these things, and you would let them leak in your brain. But right when your husband talk about, no, we're going to do it this way, it's like, see, you met, see. Why? Because you're still under the curse. Go to Deuteronomy. Hold that because we're going to go back and finish it, repeat it. You're still under the curse. Go to Deuteronomy 28. Verse 56.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 56.
Right. So if you didn't know, verse 15 said all these curses will come upon us and overtake us because we disobey the commandments of God. Right? So getting to the point, verse 56 said what?
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words.
No, Deuteronomy 28th chapter and the 56th verse.
56. Oh, slide.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 56. Go ahead.
The tender and delicate woman among you.
Right. This is what happened. That tender and silent and respectful woman. Go ahead.
Which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
See, our women were carried around, right? See, the women in the ancient days, they were carried around. Your wives, your queens, right, were carried around. They wouldn't even touch the ground. That's how gentle they were. So imagine how silent and respectful and loving they were. Go ahead.
For delicateness and tenderness.
Yeah, not hard. Not, nigga, I ain't gonna, listen, I ain't gonna do none. You know, my feet are like cement. And I ain't gonna do it, nigga. You deal with it. I'm gonna put my feet on you and they gonna cut your arms. They gonna cut your legs. You know, nails, why? Why do them? You know what I mean? Nah. I ain't doing my nails for you, nigga. Who are you? Your husband. The legs, nah, I don't shave no more. You know what I mean? Nah. I don't care about how I look no more. I don't care about my body. I don't care about my mind. I don't care about my spirit. See, back in the days, they were tender and delicate. They were willing and subject. That's what mind state. Just think about it, sisters. When we get into the kingdom, what you gonna be? You think you're gonna be you? You think you're gonna be you're gonna come into the kingdom disrespectful, disgruntled, disloyal, right? You think that's gonna come into the kingdom? No. He's working on you now to put off those ways. And now, as a righteous Israelite woman, you got to understand what and how to do that. All your duty is house duties. You got to worry about the house, the cleaning, the cooking, right? Taking care of the kids, right? And pleasing your husband. And you can't do that. Why? Because you gave up on life. You gave up on your service and duty to the Most High. Right? So she was tender at one time, right? She was well to look upon. She actually washed her hair, right? She shaved her armpits, right? She shaved those hairs between her toes. She was tender. Go ahead.
Her eye shall be evil towards the husband.
Her eye shall be what?
Evil towards the husband.
You see what happened? You got to understand that if you are in the household and you are arguing with your husband, arguing all the time, you're fighting, and you're not sitting there and saying, I need to try to understand this man. If I want to live with him forever, I need to understand him, his logic, the way he thinks, the way he judges. Right? You got to understand him. The problem is you women, y'all think the man is supposed to bow to you. And that's why there's arguments in your household. That's why there's fighting. That's why there's disloyalty. Because you think the man is supposed to humble to you. That's the curse, though. Y'all Israelite women got to know that's the curse. You don't want your man to bow to you. You don't want your man to submit to you. Because you imagine that. Imagine you, Allison. You got a 300-pound bald-head man. You grown-ass nigga, right, bowing to you. Is that what you want? You'll be like, wow, this guy's spirit is broke. The lion in him, his spirit is broke. And that's when you look at the black man. You look at these black men, their faces all shaved, their lips all shiny, and you know, they walking and twitching. You're like, man, the power of Judah has been stripped. Same thing with all the tribes. You don't want that. And when you get that, you really realize you don't want that. That's what it is. You realize, damn, I got this guy, but I don't want that. That's why it tells the men. What does it warn the men, women? What does it tell the men not to do to the women? Not to do what? You the only one that knows it? Who else knows it? You said it too? I don't hear y'all. I'm saying I don't hear y'all. What does it say? Nobody. It says, give not thy strength unto the woman. You see that? So, answering this brother's question, your wife has to understand that it was an order by God for the man not to bow to you. It's an order by the Most High to not let your woman break your spirit. Why? Because she will try to. It's in her blood because a white man put it there and funneled his blood through her. But that's a curse. Read. Come on. Finish that up.
Her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom.
Right.
And towards her son. And towards her...
Why? Why is it evil towards her son? Because the wife is doing all this madness around the children. They're doing this madness and the children see it. The children see these things. They see your example. So you got this household, brother, that's asking the question. You're in your household. You got your children. And if your woman is always mastering over you, your children are seeing that. You're going to divide the house. You're gonna destroy the house. Let's go to another. Finish that, and then we'll go to another favorite of mine. Go ahead.
And towards the daughter.
And towards the daughter is seeing it. You're going to make her a dyke. Go ahead.
And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet.
Good. Right. You see that? Go ahead.
And towards her children, which she shall bear, for she shall eat them.
You see that? The eating that happened too. But we know that part of the curse is not on you now. But the scriptures is telling you that these are the curses that will be on us. It's a curse to have that in your household. So real quick, jump over to Ecclesiastes 27. You got to be mindful. You women, you children, you daughters of Zion, you got to be mindful. You got to be mindful that you can't let this curse in your house. You can't let that curse in your house, man. You ain't following the commandments and the laws of the Most High if you're letting this curse in your house. This discord, this disobedience, this disrespect. Ecclesiastes 27 verse 3.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 27 and verse 3.
And then we're going to go to another my favorite. Go ahead.
Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord,
Right?
his house shall soon be overthrown.
You see that? You know why the man has to hold his own? Because he got to keep the house in order. He's got to stop the curses from coming in. So while you're thinking, oh, he just don't want to let me. I don't have no say. Right. So I got to be the silent and dumb woman. No. You got to be the silent and righteous woman that lets your husband guide the house. What?
When you're doing the construction, you deal with the foundation, which is the man.
Right.
The pillars are the ones that are holding the house up. So the man is the house and the foundation. And if you take the pillars out,
Right.
the man will fall.
It would all fall on the man.
Everything, because the man is the roof and the foundation.
Right.
If you take the pillars off,
Right.
then he has just ground.
And that's why these women of Israel don't understand how much hurt they do trying to master over their husband. Once you pull those pillars down, is what she's saying, because y'all probably can't hear her online. Well, they're the pillars. The women are the pillars, and once those pillars fall, everything comes tumbling down. And they don't understand that. But the white man did. That's why when you read the Willie Lynch paper, he tells you, you got to go to the woman. You got to break the woman, break the man in front of the woman. And that's what this is all about. Breaking the man, the black man, the Israelite man's spirit in front of the women. And what did he do? He called it feminism. Respect for women. It ain't respect for women, because all feminism doing is making you walk around butt naked. And taking the glory of the family away and dividing the household. Feminism is not helping you. It's not respecting women. Everybody that's feminist is what? Butt naked as hell, talking about, oh, I can show my breasts on the internet. I can walk down the street with no shirt on because I'm a feminist. That's not helping the cause of respect for women. What?
But I gotta find this act. There's an act that some women wrote saying that whoever came up with feminism just made things harder on women.
Yeah.
We had it easy, and now we have to do everything.
Yeah, it's like the women out there in Iraq and the Eastern Hemisphere. Oh, she has to have the respect to drive. I mean, how many of us just want to get drove around everywhere? You know what I mean? But that's America coming in there. What? Oh, you're not treated with respect unless you're working. Because America wants to come in there and make them work and be more of the working force. When the women were carried around. And they knew how to deal. They knew how to talk. They knew how to communicate. They knew how to take care of the kids. But they try to put us back in the curses, man. Where were we?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 27 verse 3.
Go ahead.
Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord.
Go ahead.
His house shall soon be overthrown.
You got to hold yourself, brothers and sisters, in the commandments and the will of the Most High, or your house will fall. You got to hold yourself in the laws and commandments of the Most High, your house will fall. That's why a lot of these men that are doing their own will, a lot of these men that are following their own program, you're going to watch. The Most High is going to keep bringing your house down. Why? You can try to use the Bible as a tool to keep your woman in order, but you not do nothing? You think the Most High is with that? But let's move on into this question, because this question is out. How do you get the house? How do you establish this? She's got to respect this. She's got to obey the scriptures. The scriptures say she's supposed to be subject to you. Go to Proverbs 14:1. She's got to respect you. She's pulling the house down. Sister, if you're a follower of Christ, you better write these scriptures down. You got to do what the scriptures say. You're pulling the house down. It ain't him. You're pulling it down with your bare hands. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
Read it again.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
See, how does she build her house? a wise woman build her house? He tells you. Your husband tells you. This is chaos. You're being disrespectful. You're being disobedient. Why do we have to go through this? That's why some of y'all men, instead of engaging in the emotional antics, you gotta just sit down. You know how they draw you? The women are good at drawing you into their emotions. And now you're trying to explain yourself to them. Oh, Lord. I'm getting a headache as it is. Could somebody give me an orange juice? I'm getting a headache. Oh, my blood sugars get low. They draw you into their emotions. And you got to understand, instead of being drawn into the emotions, you know what you got to say? Why are you being out of order instead of you doing the will of the Most High? Why won't you do what the commandments say? That's got to be your conversation, because they draw you in and then you're trying to justify yourself. Con. I know the deal. Now you're trying to explain it in instead of saying, why is it that every time I ask you to do something, follow, to get in order, there's got to be a battle? Why won't you do the will of the Most High? And you take them out of all that emotional content and bring them right back to reality. The scriptures would set their mind in order. But we get in a conversation, next you know, we're 2 hours in justifying ourselves, and the whole conversation been switched to how that you're the bad guy. And now you in the subjection to her. See, this is chaos, man. This is chaos. Read Proverbs 14:1.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
Go ahead.
But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
Brothers and sisters, it's showing you that you're being foolish. You're plucking it down with your own hands. You're tearing your house down because, listen, what's going to happen when you break his spirit? What happens? What happens when you pull it down and you broke his spirit and he's like, I ain't gonna argue? Because my ribs at this age, at this time, at my relationships, I'm not arguing. I'm like, we get in a reasonable conversation or we ain't talking. Yeah, when you're done with all that, I'll leave. I'll come back where we can talk rational with wisdom and understanding. Otherwise, I'm not dealing with that. But let me ask y'all, what happens when you finally break that man? What?
Everything starts crumbling down.
Why?
Because he's going to be bowing to you instead of doing what the Most High says, what the scriptures say.
Right. What else happens? I want y'all to think about it. What happens, women, sisters, when they finally break their husband? Because we know the scriptures is telling us what happens when a woman pulls the house down. But how does she pull this house down? How? How does she pull it down? Yeah.
Well, my first thought is that she's destroyed his mind state.
Uh-huh.
And the kids see that, so she's not only pulling down him, but the generation to come.
Right. She's pulling it up, but how does she do it in the household? I'll show you how. Go to Ecclesiastes 25, verse 20. I'll show you how the Bible tells you how she pulls the house down. You got to link these precepts. A wicked woman pulleth it down, right? What did it say, Proverbs 14:1?
But the foolish.
The foolish woman. She pulls it down. Go ahead.
Plucked it down with her hand.
How? How does this happen? Go to Ecclesiastes 25, verse 20.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25 and verse 20.
Ecclesiastes 25 and 20. I'm going to show you how she pulleth it down. Ecclesiastes 25 and 20. Read that.
As the climbing up a sandy way.
You know how she pulls it down? It's an uphill battle all the time. It's like a, what? Read?
As the climbing up a sandy way.
Right?
Is to the...
You know you're doing that through the actual page. When you go through the options, they see that.
Yeah, that was an accident.
Oh, okay, all right.
It says, as climbing up a sandy hill. Go ahead.
It is to the feet of the aged.
Yeah, imagine an old man trying to climb up a sand dune. Yeah, that's how it is. How does she bring the household down? It starts with him having to climb up a sandy hill. It's like, after you get through the conversation, the talk, you just want to go to sleep. Like, why? Because it's like teaching a 3-hour class and everybody's snoring. You're like, think about it. You're like, you're tired. You're tired. You're like, oh man, I gotta. And you imagine doing that daily. When you say apple, she says banana. When you say there, baby, do me a favor, could you grab a banana? I'm doing what the, see, why it gotta always be about it. It's like, really? This is not a relationship. This is a battle. We're not in a relationship. A relationship, what happened to the dreamy moments where we gaze in each other's eyes and we laugh at each other's jokes and we're walking in slow motion and we're turning each other and spinning each other in Hebrew and, you know, in the holy language, and your hair is flowing and you're kissing each other. What happened to that? It's like, it's just disgruntled, mean, ugly, just angry all the time. Just, where you at? Home. Back with your ugly ass, nigga. What you finna do? Cook? Again. Because I'm stuck in this life that I don't like. Why do you think you're a sad puppy? Because you ain't happy doing the will of the Lord. It ain't your joy to please your husband. So yeah, you're sad. You're like, you walk in the house and you're like, you want to throw up, right? Then when he comes home after you finish throwing up, why? Because you got to take care of the kids, got to do this, and I came from work, I'm just, right? You're doing all that, right? And then he comes in, he looks at you, he wants to what? He wants to throw up. Why? Because you've been throwing up, you're disgruntled, you're out of order. It's a battle. That's not a life. That's not a relationship. Why do you think it's what? One relationship after the next. Next. Because the method, the word, the knowledge, the joy of the knowledge is not there. They ain't thinking like, damn, I want to be that woman. Barakatah Yahawashi, Shema Mashiach Yahawashi. I want to be that woman. What woman? The woman like Sarah, the woman in the past. I want to be this woman that's not disgruntled and out of order. I want to be the heavenly woman. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
They're not saying that. You know what they're saying? Yeah, that's all good. But this nigga gonna bow to me. In the back of their mind is like, I'm gonna get him singing it. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. Baby, I'm begging, baby. Y'all know it? It's too old school?
Have the linen on.
Right.
Blowing in the wind.
Yeah, right? They want you to say that. And it don't supposed to be that. That's why it's climbing up a sandy hill. Go ahead.
So is a wife full of words.
So is a wife what?
Full of words.
How does she break down the house?
Full of words.
She is what?
Full of words.
She's just full of words. Come. It can't be yes, me lord. It's got to be what, nigga? It's like, it's these online. It's like you dating somebody from online. You dating somebody on a TV show. Like, ain't nobody, please. That's why brothers these days is like, listen, do you have to have a wife? It's like, do you have to have a wife? And then we got brothers talking about, do you have to deal with an Israelite woman? We like look at them like, stop it, brother. Why? Because they're ready. They're like, I don't want to deal with no black, loud, Hispanic, loud-ass, disgruntled woman. that was an ex-stripper and thinks she got rights. You got no damn rights. You was a stripper. Your ass must be coming talking about, Lord, please cleanse me. You was an ex-stripper and you want rights. You ain't got no rights. Just like the man, when we come to the Most High, we're supposed to be coming like, yes, Lord. We ain't got no rights. But the problem is that you see how she pulls it down? Read that Proverbs 14:1 one more time. Read that Proverbs 14:1. The water for that. Wow. See, righteous women. Go ahead. Read that Proverbs 14:1.
Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
The foolish plucketh it down with her hands. Why? Because she's still in that young ass mode. That young mode. Then you got, hold that. See, we got to hold all these. Don't forget it. Now let's go back to where we started. Go back to 1 Peter 3. Do not let those scriptures go because we're going right back there. The foolish plucketh it down with her hands, right? Okay, check this out. Go back to Proverbs 14. Excuse me. My blood sugar's going up. Go ahead.
Peter?
Peter, excuse me. Peter's 3:1.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Check this out. Go ahead.
That if any obey not the word.
They don't obey the word. What happens when they don't obey the word? Go ahead.
They also may without the word.
Without the knowledge of the Bible. Go ahead.
Be won by the conversation of the wise.
Why do you think she got so much word for you? Because you're won by everybody else. Mama comes in there and says, baby, you know what? This is how I would do it. You're won by the conversation of your mama. You're won by the conversation of some ratchet hood rat that got 3 dudes that come over her house every night talking about she your friend. Somebody that plays cards and smoke blunts all night and drinks 40s. And you sitting there like, damn, she deep. Her got knowledge. Really? Really, her got knowledge? And all she know how to do is open her mouth, smoke blunts, and let niggas spill in her? Nah, man. Y'all got it wrong, man. You're won by the conversation of everybody else. You be on YouTube, they got wisdom. You listen to that's going to get my relationship right. You go try to apply that, and it's another battle. You go try to apply it, it's another battle. You apply everybody else except your husband. That's why we had to tell sisters, you counsel with your husband. He told you what the problem was. Then you went back and tried to counsel with another sister. Your husband told you what the problem is. Why the hell you won't listen to him? Because you want to be won by everybody else except your man. Because you want him to understand you. You don't want to understand him. That's how you pull down your house. Now go back to Ecclesiastes. Let's finish that up.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
As the climbing up a sandy way is to the seat of age, so is a wife full of words.
See, she's full of words. That's what brings the house down. She ain't subject. She's full of words. Go ahead.
To a quiet man.
To a what?
Quiet.
Yeah, you got brothers don't even want to start nothing. Brother. Okay, do it your way, whatever. Right? But what he's saying is it's too much now. Watch, the scriptures is going to show you. Check this out. You're at Ecclesiastes what?
25 and 20.
Right. Check this out, because it's going to show you. You can't just stay quiet. Read.
Stumble not at the beauty of a woman.
See, now he's telling you this is happening, right? You got this aged woman. You got this woman that talks so much, right? She keeps talking. Keeps talking. Keeps talking, right? Now he's telling you, don't fall for her beauty. Because now you're thinking, damn, what are the options I got? What are the options I got? If I don't deal with this, right, I'm going to have to go back out there and I might not get what I like. So what do? You humble yourself. You stay quiet. He's telling you, don't let that gas you up. Don't fall for her beauty. Don't fall because she's the only one giving you that thing and you think, damn, I might be out there like some other brothers. So what do you start doing? You start compromising the order in your house. You compromise the discipline and the respect. Don't stumble at her beauty. Go ahead.
And desire her not for pleasure.
Why? Because now you're thinking, I ain't going to get what I want. That pleasure. See? So what do? I can't tell her. I'm going to hold back my correction. Now you design her for the wrong thing. That's going to destroy your house. Go ahead.
Verse 22.
Go ahead.
A woman, if she maintain her husband.
Right? So how do you pull down the house? First, it starts with your talk, your communication. It talks with your arguing. Before we go to this, go to Ecclesiastes 28, verse 15.
Ecclesiastes chapter 28 and verse 15. A backbiting tongue hath cast out virtuous women.
Listen, how do you break down your house? A what?
A backbiting tongue.
They start what?
Backbiting tongue.
It's like a sandy hill. But the sandiness is what? Backbiting. You start backbiting everything your husband says. But what does it say? Read it again.
Have cast out virtuous women.
Right. You was righteous. You was on the right path. But then you start what? Falling because you don't want to be subject to him no more. So you challenge. You talk back. You argue. You fight. You're bringing down your house. Go ahead.
And depriveth them of their labors.
You see that? Meaning you could have been doing good. You could have been doing right. Right? That's how I tell my ribs. Like, yeah, you're on point. But your tongue, it deprives you of your labors. You can be good all the whole 6, 7, 8 months. But once you let that pride demon jump on you, you start to run me. You want to run me. I'm not looking at none of that. Because you know what establishes your labors? How you can communicate the comfort of your tongue, your sweetness, your gentleness, your love and your respect. That's what you have as a woman. You didn't have virginity. Damn, can I get something? You didn't have virginity. You didn't have pureness. All you have is what? Humility. You understand that? No, I guess not. It's all good. Read it again.
A backbiting tongue hath cast out virtuous women.
Go ahead.
And deprived them of their labors.
Right? It deprived them of their labors. Go to Ecclesiastes 26 verse 17. Ecclesiastes 26 and 17.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 17.
This goes right with the sandy hill. This shows you, man, what is cast out the women. I mean, how these women bring down their house. Read where you at.
As the clear light is upon the holy candlestick.
26 verse 17.
Come on.
Read that. 26
verse 17. As the clear light is upon the holy candlestick.
No, I'm sorry. No. 26. 27, I'm sorry.
27. Come.
Yeah.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 27. A loud crying woman.
So what is it? What tears down the house?
A loud crying woman.
A disgruntled woman, man. Read.
And a skull shall be sought out to drive away the enemies.
Right, so clear your throat, and I want you to read that again. Clear your throat, Doc, and I want you to read it correctly. You want to read too, Doc? Help him out?
I would.
All right, go ahead, read it again.
A loud crying woman.
Uh-huh.
And a skull.
And a loud crying woman and a skull, go ahead,
shall be sought out to drive away the enemies.
Yeah, your loud mouth will make enemies run. We can put you on the front line and you can just start yelling. You know what I mean? You'll cast down the whole kingdom. Why? Because that tears down a house. Go ahead.
There be two things that grieve my heart.
That's it on that. Go there and go to Proverbs. And I'm just showing you how does this house start to fall? It starts with the woman's mouth. She starts pulling it down and making this man work extra hard. Go to Proverbs. Let me see if I can find this. Go to Proverbs. I got to add this one right here because y'all want this in your arsenal. Let me find it for y'all. Proverbs 21:9. Proverbs 21:9. Read it loud. Let them read it. I can read it on. Read it loud so they can hear you online.
It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop,
right,
than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
Right. Okay, read it again. Read it one more time.
It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop,
right,
than with a brawling woman.
A brawling woman, go ahead.
In a wide house.
In a wide house. It is better to dwell on the rooftop than a brawling woman. So what tears down this house? A brawling, argumentative, backbiting woman. I'll go on the roof. So you got to ask yourself, when your husband don't want to be there, when he ain't smiling at you no more, what is it? 99.99999% of the time is your mouth. You don't know how to talk. You're disgruntled, you're disrespectful, and he's sitting there just looking at you like, dang, this is garbage. Go from there, go to Proverbs 25:24.
Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 24.
Go ahead.
It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
So now we understand what pulls down a house. What gets this man to try to run away from the house? Arguing, fighting, disgruntled. Y'all get that, right? Go back to Ecclesiasticus where you left out that, Tawada, for reading. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 27.
Ecclesiastes 26 verse 27. Let's get further edification on what happens when she pulls down this house. This is why it says be in subjection. Because a foolish woman will pull down this house. Well, what happens? What are the steps? You want to know why your house is falling? It's going to first be your mouth and your disrespect and your backbiting. Okay? What else does it say?
A loud and
Ecclesiastes 25 and 22. Let's go back there. Ecclesiastes 25 and 22.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25 and verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband.
If she what?
Maintain her husband.
So this shows you what happens to your happiness and what happens to your house. You want to know? You want to know why your house is falling? You want to know why you're not happy? Because you won't let the will of the Lord be done there. You're not patient. You're not waiting for the growth of your husband. He just got the truth. How are you going to be? Well, he just don't know how to get it in order. Like, yeah, but you just got the truth too. What are you talking about? And you doing what's worse. You're not helping him. You're not furthering him. Read it again.
A woman, if she maintain her husband.
This is what brings your house down. If she do what?
Maintain her husband.
The scripture says if a woman maintain her husband, go ahead.
Is full of anger.
When you try to control your man, when you try to run him, you want to talk about why you angry all the time, why you upset and you're not happy. Because you're trying to run every damn thing. Because it's not going your way. What happens? You're full of anger. You upset all the time. It's like, relax. Let him take the reins. Let him do what he's supposed to do. You fall in subjection and you can bring some peace. You're trying to take on too much work. Your job is to cook, clean, take care of the kids, and do what you have to do in the house. If you're working, cool. You're both working. You're bringing in half on the bills and all that. Fine. But you trying to do everything else. Well, we're going to do the bills this way. Hold on a second. I didn't say that. We're going to do them this way. Well, no, I ain't going to do it. This is why we can never talk. Right, because you're loud, backbiting, disrespectful, and disloyal. That's why. And you're trying to control me. You're trying to maintain your house. That's when a foolish woman plucketh it down with her hands, because she's not trying to be Proverbs 31 in subjection to her own husband. She's learning all this and doing everything else outside of what the commandment says. Go ahead.
Is full of anger.
And she's full of what?
Anger.
Read.
Impudence.
Stop. Black book. Get the black book. By the way, everybody online, the black book is just a dictionary. As somebody asked last time, what's the black book? What is that? It's just a dictionary. What dictionary are we reading out of?
The New Webster's Encyclopedic Dictionary.
Yeah, the New Webster's Encyclopedic Dictionary is just a dictionary. But it's a good one, and it's real elaborate with these words. So read that. Read where you at.
A woman, if she maintain her husband.
A woman, if she do what?
Maintain her husband.
If she maintains her husband, go ahead.
Is full of anger.
She is full of what?
Anger.
Read.
Impudence.
She's impudent. Look at where this control that you're trying to get is getting you. Impudent. What is impudent? What you got? Edith, you got something yet? She's still looking. What you got for impudent? Oh wait, Edith got something. What you got?
It says without shame.
She's what? Huh?
Without shame.
So impudent means this woman is what?
Without shame.
Right. So when she's arguing with you, when she's backbiting and she's disrespectful, they get the face like, and what? You ain't gonna hit me. Go ahead, hit me. Go ahead. I'm gonna tell the whole priestess, everybody, the whole school going. You don't even pop your head. I can't even do it. You don't even pop it, but next you know that nigga come out of you. And you be of the other tribes. Why? Because the impudent. You lose respect. A foolish woman is trying to maintain her house. You're trying to control everything. It says the wives supposed to be in subjection to their husbands. Not your husband is subject to you. You showing disorder in your household, chaos. It says, impudence says what?
Without shame.
She's without shame. And that's why you become a shame. You don't have no shame in what you do. That's why a lot of y'all, you know, this is what the Most High showed me, man. A lot of y'all need your jobs. In your jobs, you don't need positions over people. A lot of y'all. Because you really think, because you at work over managing people, you can come home and tell your husband what the hell to do. No, we're going to do it like this. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You take and leave that at work. You come back here and be what you're supposed to be. You understand? We know that there's certain positions that you got to do things and you got to run, you know, manager positions and things of that nature. But you need to leave that at work. You talk to your boss like that. Well, wait, you don't. Because you still got a boss. But what you do is you start trying to manage your husband. Manage him and argue with him. And guess what? You become more angry, more sad, more bitter. What else?
It says offensively forward in behavior.
Impudent means offensively and forward behavior. So when a woman tries to run her house, she becomes angry and offensive. Yeah, in everything she does. When all you have to do is tell me the right way. Most men don't trip. Most men don't trip. If you left it up to a lot of men, they just let you do what the hell you want to do. But because the order in the household, in the structure, the commandments, the men have to start stepping up now and leading. And you got to give them the opportunity. Well, he's not taking the reins too quick. Give him a chance, man. He's going to do it. And then when he do it, you're going to complain about how he doing it. Impudent. What else we got? Go back to anything more in there?
Yes, sir.
What you got?
Intentionally treating others without due respect.
You understand this? When you get that impudent demon on you, you just start being disrespectful because. You just start being disrespectful because he can't hit you. He can't do nothing. You control the money. That's wicked. That's wicked. Read back on in the Apocrypha. Go ahead.
Impudent.
And
much reproach.
And much reproach. What is reproach? Arguing. You're going to be angry. It's going to be a lot of anger, disrespect, and arguing. Go ahead.
A wicked woman abated the courage.
But what type of woman is it that argues and fights and backbites and basically doesn't care? You don't even care if this guy is on the rooftop. Go, nigga, go to the rooftop. I know the scripture, right? I'm wicked, I'm off, I'm disgruntled, I'm out of order. I heard what that nigga said in class, right? Then they throw me in there. I heard what Kazakia said, right? You gonna listen to Kazakia? Like, I didn't write this. Then that messes with brother's ego. You gonna listen to him? I didn't write that you were disgruntled, loud hood rat. Your actions fulfilled the scriptures and you became that. I didn't write this. The scriptures are saying, don't be this wicked woman. Go ahead.
A wicked woman abateth the courage.
Go ahead.
And maketh an heavy countenance.
Yeah, see, why does he want to go to the rooftop? Why does he want to dwell in the corner of the house like a dead puppy? Like an abused animal? Why? Because it says what?
Maketh make a heavy countenance.
And how do you make a heavy countenance? Because you want to fight about everything, argue about everything. Then when you see you got power, you're angry, you're upset, then you're trying to control him with sex. Then you're trying to use your body. Like, you know what? I read this book. I'm going to hold back this for him and teach him a lesson.
Backfire.
Then it backfires on you and you really be pissed. Then you really be mad. See? This is what you got to understand, that it's destroying, it's not building. So stop seeking for this power and this reign that wasn't given to you by the Most High. The fact is, y'all supposed to be meshed together and working together towards the same goals. The man shouldn't have to, listen, I always say this. If I have to ask for respect or demand respect, there is no respect. Even as a leader, if I got to demand respect from you, you don't respect me. You should already have respect based on works, my service, and my duty. If your husband got to demand respect and argue with you for respect, you don't, there is no respect there. You don't honor your husband. So like I said, this because I'm not the one that even will have to walk around and have to demand it. It's supposed to be given to me. You understand that? You're supposed to give it to your husband. That's what the Most High wants you to do. Don't put him in the predicament to where he got to go to the scripture and say, you going to respect me. He shouldn't have to do that. That's tacky. You making him look bad. It's a shame on him. Because what type of man should have to do that? Go ahead, read.
And a wounded heart.
Yeah, you make weak hands, feeble knees, and a wounded heart, man. Why? Read.
A woman that will not comfort her husband.
Because you won't do what?
Comfort her husband.
The woman is supposed to be a what?
Comfort to her husband.
What verse are you at?
Verse 23, sir.
It says you're at verse 23. Read it again.
A wicked woman abateth the curse.
Right.
Maketh a heavy countenance. And a wounded heart.
Read.
A woman that will not comfort her husband.
Right. How, sisters, how does she comfort her husband? How? You got the scripture? Go to Ecclesiastes 36:23. How does she comfort her husband? How? Ecclesiastes 36 verse 23.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 23.
Right? No, you know what? Yeah, read that. Read 23 and we'll jump back up. Go ahead.
If there be kind, excuse me. If there be kindness.
If there be what?
Kindness.
How does she comfort her husband? With what?
Kindness.
She's got to be kind. Read.
Meekness.
If she's what?
Meekness.
She's supposed to be what?
Meekness.
Your wife is supposed to be what?
Meekness.
Read.
And comfort.
If there be kindness and meekness. Go ahead.
And comfort.
And comfort. This is how she comforts him. This is how she keeps him in the house. This is how she keeps him looking at like she's the sun rays of the morning. Go ahead.
In her tongue.
In her what?
In her tongue.
How she talks. Because a brawling woman, a backbiting woman will chase him to the damn rooftop in the corners of the house. But a woman, watch. Check this out. Go ahead.
Then is not her husband like other men.
Right. You see that? Her husband's not like other men. Why? Because this woman has tact and class. She knows how to communicate and deliver what she wants the right way. That's what separates this woman from the other women. Go ahead.
He that gives a wife.
All right, now jump up to verse 21. We read 24. Jump up to verse 21.
Verse 21. A woman will receive every man.
Go ahead.
Yet is one daughter better than another.
Why? Watch. Now I'm going to bring it down. I read it backwards, but I said start at 23 first, but I want to show you. What makes you better? Go ahead.
The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance.
How? Is it just your beauty? Read.
And a man loveth nothing better.
Right. See, what makes you beautiful? Read.
There is, if there be kindness.
If there be what?
Kindness.
You see why I read it that way? Because the kindness and meekness is supposed to be in the tongue. What beautifies you? What makes your husband look at you like, damn, man, I want to be home? It's just how she's kind and meek and she can communicate. That's all it is. You don't understand. You can manipulate a man just for that. If you were going to use that in a wicked way. The scriptures tell you about a whore. How does she manipulate a man? It says she enticed him with his words. That's how the wicked do it, right? But you can't even be nice and meek and humble on the righteous end. You're supposed to be meek and humble and know, if I communicate with my husband like this, he obviously don't like it. Why do I keep doing that? If I walk around and I'm huffing and puffing and every time he gives me an order to do something and he don't like it, why am I doing that? Are you trying to be wicked? Do you want to be a wicked woman? You got to ask yourself this. This is what is going to, the kindness and meekness. Now jump back to where we were.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 23.
Go ahead.
A wicked woman abateth the courage.
Yeah, but the wicked woman ain't about how she talk. She gonna tell him and she gonna be like, you just gotta deal with it. Go ahead.
Maketh an heavy countenance.
Read.
And a wounded heart.
Read.
A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress.
Go ahead.
Maketh weak hands and feeble knees.
Right. And you know why? You know why this woman does this? She make weak hands and feeble knees. You know why? You know what she's forgetting? Read the next verse.
Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
Uh-huh.
And through her we all died.
That's what you forgot. That we're here in this position because your damn mouth and your disrespect. Eve disobeyed the orders of the Most High first. We're here because of you. Because of you got out of order and you didn't want to listen and you were disgruntled and you thought you knew better. So this is why she makes weak hands and feeble knees, because this woman is not humble. She forgot she's supposed to be subject to her husband. Now go back. Let's finish it up. Go back to 1 Peter 3 and let's read on.
Is that verse?
1 Peter 3 and 1.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
You see why now? You see what subjection means? That's what subjection means. Knowing how to talk. Knowing that through your talk, you can build or you can destroy your household. Knowing how you communicate. You can comfort your husband or break him down. Knowing that you can't control him. And if you did try to control him, it just brings disorder, chaos. Right? So, read.
That if any obey not the word,
right,
they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
You're going to be won by everybody else. Everybody will be the influence if you don't understand to be subject to your husband. To run everything past your husband. But you're not going to do that if you think, what? I'm an independent woman and I can think for myself. I don't need him. Yeah, you're an independent worldly woman, but you need the man with wisdom and understanding to give you knowledge of the Bible. Go ahead.
While they behold your chaste conversation.
Wait a minute. There you go again. Isn't that a coinky-dink, isn't it? Your chaste conversation. No. Her disgruntled, loud, disrespectful, brutish conversation.
Chaste conversation.
Her disobedient, disrespectful, belligerent, unclassy. That's the word.
Chase conversation.
No class conversation.
Chase conversation.
Chase. Give me the word chase. Let's find what chase is. Now, we got to find the one pertaining to somewhere, because when you look up chase, the word is used to describe a character of a virgin. So what he's saying here is that this virgin, that meek, that comfort of tongue, her tongue is chaste. You see that? So like a woman would be chaste and her virgin, respectful, soft, tender, soft-spoken. That's what chaste means. But now he's saying apply that to how you speak. What?
The definition I have says without unnecessary ornamentation, simple or restrained.
Right. So it's not overboard. It's not unrestrained conversation. It's her chase. They're looking at you Israelite women. And when you walk in Walmart, right? If an Israelite woman walked in Walmart and everybody else was in there, what would be the difference between your interaction between your husband and the other women interaction between their husband? Is she going to be yelling at him down the aisle, I'm over here, nigga! On aisle 4! Damn, this nigga's stupid. Is she going to be yelling that? Right? Is she going to be talking bad about her husband to other women and people at work? Talking about, man, I just don't know. This nigga, man. That's not chaste conversation. You have no respect for your household, for your husband, for who he is. That's not chaste. Well, we got some more on that? What? Chaste.
I have pure, genuine, uncorrupt.
Pure conversation. They're watching you on how you communicate. Go ahead.
Free from barbarous words.
Free from barbarous words. Go ahead.
And phrases. Extravagant expressions.
There you go. Go ahead, read on 1 Peter.
While they behold the chaste conversation, coupled with fear.
Coupled with what?
With fear.
With what?
With fear.
You're supposed to have fear. To who? Who, class? Ah, man, I ain't confident. I don't hear y'all. Who, class?
Most High.
The Most High. Who, demon?
The Most High.
Yeah. Come on. The Most High. Your fear and respect was supposed to be to the Most High. So now how I communicate and how I deliver my message, my conscience, your conscience as a wife was supposed to be towards the Most High. Go ahead.
Whose adorning? Let it not be that outward adorning.
Right. Whose covering is not about the outward. Go ahead.
Of plaiting the hair.
Right. It's not about your covering and how you represent yourself can't be about your outward appearance. Go ahead.
And of wearing of gold.
Yeah, it can't be about the physical things. Not saying we didn't wear those things, but it shouldn't be about those things. Go ahead.
Or of putting on apparel.
Go ahead.
But let it be the hidden man.
The hidden man. Look at that. He calls your heart the hidden man. Let it be the hidden man. The spiritual man mustered up within inside you as a woman. Go ahead.
Of the heart.
Of the heart. Go ahead.
In that which is not corruptible.
That. Go ahead.
Even the adornment of a meek.
Of a what?
Of a meek.
She's supposed to be what?
Meek.
Read.
And quiet spirit.
And what?
Quiet spirit.
Quiet doesn't mean dumb. It means you understand what your husband wants and knows. Okay, when it's time for me to pull back, I pull back. There it is. You don't got to go through no psychological war. It really, you're going through a psychological war. You want to slit your wrist because he gave you an order to go put gas in at a certain time and you didn't want to, or go get this from this store, or it'd be some most random stuff that you want to have a psychological mental breakdown. Like, I just don't understand. Just do it. How about your kids doing that madness? Every time you told them to pick up their toys or clean their room, they was like, I just don't understand why they got me doing this. This is not right. The same thing. You are overthinking it. Just be meek and humble. Go ahead.
Which is in the sight of the Most High.
Which is in the sight of who?
Of the Most High.
Which is in the sight of who?
Of the Most High.
Who do you supposed to have fear toward?
The Most High.
In the sight of the Most High. Go ahead.
Of great price.
See, there's your price. So when it says our price is far above rubies, to the Most High, he cherishes that type of woman. He respects that type of woman. That type of woman is going to get it into the kingdom. Go ahead.
Verse 5. For after this manner, in the old time,
right,
the holy women also,
right,
who trusted in the Most High.
And that's the point. You're supposed to be getting back and understanding that all these characteristics, good, bad, all these things that were spoken about, all the women in the Bible, they trusted in the Most High. See, why do you go through your battles a lot? Why do these battles come? That verse right there. You don't trust in the Lord. You think he's going to lead you to wickedness or corruptness or being off. And then you think, if I get my spirit, my body, my mind to be in subjection to this husband, the Most High ain't got me. When he just said, in the Most High's eyes, you're treasured when you're subject to the Most High. When you're subject to your husband. But you fear all the time. So you are reluctant to submit to the decision making. You don't want to do those things because you don't trust in the Most High. You feel like the Most High is going to let you down, and he's not. Whoever put their trust in the Lord, whoever trusted in the Lord and was confounded. None. Read.
Who trusted in the Most High, adorned themselves.
They're covering. Go ahead.
Being in subjection.
They're covering. What they were covered with was not just gold and jewelry and head covers and all these things. Their covering was subjection. They exemplified through the spiritual, not through the carnal. Y'all understand that? Go ahead.
Being in subjection unto their own husbands.
You see that? They were subject to their own husbands. Go ahead.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are.
Right.
As long as you do well.
As long as you do what?
Do well.
Do the commandments. Go ahead.
And are not afraid.
And wait a minute. There you go again. Why is he saying trust these words? And why is he using trust words? You're afraid because you don't trust. You battle because you don't trust the Most High. You're not a God-fearing woman. And your house is going to be in array. You're through panic, through unsurety, through lack of faith, you're going to pull it down little by little. But if you have hope, if you have faith, if you believe and you put the Most High first, see, you're going to establish your house in righteousness. Go ahead.
And are not afraid with any amazement.
With any what?
Amazement.
Right, because you be amazed at what you can get done and what you do. You'll be amazed if you just listen and follow a little bit to show you that the Most High is with that righteous man. It would be an amazement. Go from there. Let's finish it up. Go to Ecclesiastes 25 verse 1. It's 9 o'clock. Ecclesiastes 25 verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
In 3 things was I beautified, and stood up beautiful before the Most High and men.
Go ahead.
The unity of brethren.
Right.
And the love of neighbors.
Read.
A man and a wife that agree together.
Right. The scriptures is beautified when the households are in order. It's beautiful when you're subject to your husband. It's beautiful when 2 walk together and they be in agreement. Y'all got to get it. You got to understand that a house divided against itself is not going to stand. It's not going to stand. Go to Ecclesiastes 26 verse 2.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
A virtuous woman rejoices her husband.
A what?
A virtuous woman rejoices her husband.
What are you women supposed to be doing? Rejoicing your husband. You're supposed to be making him happy. Not sad, not angry, not wanting to run from you. You're supposed to be making him rejoice. Damn, I can't wait till I get home. Why? She gonna be ready. The food's all cooked up. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, she gonna be in her necklace. She gonna be ready. Right? Not like, oh, I get home. Shalom, what's up? You don't even look at each other no more. All right, shalom. Why? You know why it's like that? Because you ain't subject to your husband, and he's like, okay, you're just gonna be this disrespectful woman, disobedient. You know what I mean? Disloyal. All right, shalom. Yeah, I love you, but you ain't bringing joy. You ain't bringing me joy because you don't want to be subject to the Most High. Read it again.
A virtuous woman rejoices her husband.
Right.
And he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
You see that? The Most High is about you strengthening your house. How you make it at peace? If that makes you happy, babe, I ain't doing nothing else but taking care of the kids, cooking once in a while. They don't even cook no more. Anyway, what else? What are you doing? Taking care of the kids. Oh, that's it? You gave up on everything else. Well, I'm in the camp. I'm sewing. I'm doing this con. Barakatah Yahweh. Well, what happened to your husband? Huh? You gave all your strength and your power to work in this, but when you come home, you're trying to tell me all the joy and the work and the love you put in the body, it's translated into laziness for your husband? It was supposed to be the other way around. You're doing all this joy and work in the body for who? Your husband. So when I come home, I have something to rejoice with my husband. Right? That I am doing the garments. That I am washing the saints' feet. That I am being a righteous sister that the Most High wants. So when I come home, you're not supposed to give your husband the residue. Well, I gave all my love and joy and happiness for the day, nigga. You know what you get? You get a wink and a smile and a rollover in bed and some dirty ass sweats with stains on them. That's what you get. Because as far as me giving you anything else, I ain't gonna get up. I ain't gonna be this woman that you want me to be. I ain't gave enough. You're supposed to be bringing peace in your household. Go jump to verse 13.
Verse 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband.
Her what?
The grace of a wife delighteth her husband.
It says the grace of a wife delighteth her husband. See, that's what he wants to see. The grace. How you deal, how you act, how you talk, how you communicate. Go ahead.
And her discretion will fatten his bones.
It will what?
Her discretion will fatten his bones.
You see that? How she's discreet makes her husband fat and thick and joyous and happy and loving and makes him walk around with a pep in his step. But that's why a lot of brothers, you see brothers, I mean, some of them don't even come no more. Why? Because they've been wore down so much by their women, and then they come to class, and we're like, nah, this is the will of the Most High. They're like, man, my woman got power over me, nigga. Every time they walk through the door, it's a sad, puppy-ass face. Why? Because their duty is to their women in their house instead of the will of the Most High. Every time. and then coming in class, how much could you accept? You're like, no, the spirit, the word, you're giving it to the wrong person. They're like, y'all making a conflict in my house. It was easier when I didn't have the word. It was easier. Now I got the word, I got to go home and battle. Yeah, this word is real. Oh, you don't think we see it? Come on, man. We see these cats coming through all the time. That damn beat down face. What's up, what you got? None. They ain't gonna say nothing, but what's happening at home? Rib is out of order. Family's out of order. A backbiting woman. Disrespectful. And you gotta deal with it. And then we're telling you how to deal with it, It's like, damn, this is a lot of work. It was easier if I just did like Adam, run and hid, and just gave myself to this type of woman. It's terrible, man. Very, very sad. Go to jump to verse 16.
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
As the sun when it arises, in the high heaven,
right?
So is the beauty of a good wife.
So is the what?
So is the beauty of a good wife.
Y'all listening to this? A good wife, you supposed to walk in the house, and it's supposed to be like Yahawashi himself is there. Because the whole place is shining with joy, happiness, and love. Not what, I just got off of work, nigga, leave me alone. Your food is in the microwave. And it wasn't cooked, it was in a bag. Your food is in the microwave. It was the old pizza from 3 days ago. Yeah. Don't we got leftovers? Shit, always asking for something, excuse me. Always asking for something to eat. Hungry niggas, man. Like, dang, is this love? This can't be life. Go ahead, read.
So is the beauty of a good wife.
A good wife, go ahead.
In the ordering of her house.
In the what?
In the ordering of her house.
Ooh. It even sounds beautiful, doesn't it?
God.
Because you can imagine it. You know, when your wife is in order, when there's a beautiful spirit around her, when she's taking care of her mind, spirit, and her body, then all those things matter. And that's what orders the household. Y'all see that? Con? One more scripture, 25 and 8.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 8.
I might as well just give it all to y'all. Go ahead.
Well is him that, is that?
Yeah, well is him that dwelleth.
God. Well is him that dwelleth with a wife of understanding.
You see that? You're supposed to be that woman of understanding. What? Understanding what your husband's battling, what he's doing, what his mission is. And that's why your husband has to have a mission. See, that's why I said that earlier about these niggas that using the Bible just to keep their rib in order. Like I said, they'll send them to class to keep them in order, but they has to be out there in the streets doing wickedness. They'll use us to counsel and go to class, get the scriptures. But you won't even follow the scriptures. You're a damn hypocrite. Hypocrites. It's terrible, man. But a woman of understanding knows what her husband is dealing with. That he is trying to serve the Lord. That he is not just seeking his own kingdom, but doing the will of the Lord. That he's not just using her for money, and then next you know, when something else come along, he gonna move with that. See? He's not using the Bible to bully her, but he's actually following the Bible. Go ahead.
And that had not slipped with his tongue.
You see that? Go ahead.
And that had not served a man more unworthy than himself.
You see that? Now it's relaying, it's like as though it's him. The way he's able to deal in the spirit, he wants to see that same thing. Just like he wasn't supposed to slip with the tongue, he wasn't supposed to be belligerent, beastly, out of order, disrespectful. It's great to serve a person just like himself. And it's supposed to be like that for the woman. She's supposed to be able to serve that brother, that husband, just like she would do herself. You understand that? All right, so that's it on that. All right, anybody had any questions on that? Not lie? Anything online?
There's like 5 questions, but it's off the topic.
If it's off the topic, we will answer that in the morning. It's 9:20. We went over a little bit. Class on Fridays is 6 to 9. But I'm not going to, we'll be here tomorrow. We're not going nowhere. We'll answer those questions. All right? If it's on the topic, anything? What's that?
You are subject to obey what your husband says. Will he be held responsible if he asks you to do something wrong?
Yeah. Of course he'd be held responsible. And the Most High will check him. He's going to be responsible for doing if he leads you into death and destruction, he's going to be responsible for that. Yeah, absolutely. But once again, there is plain, obvious things that you know that are destructive. If your husband tells you to drive off a bridge, you're not stupid. If he tells you, listen, go kill yourself then. Well, it was an order. He said kill. Come on now. Y'all got to use wisdom. For the most part, you know what is righteous. And to get in an argument over what to eat, what bill to pay, how to bill it, where to go and get the kids, and how to do that, that shouldn't be an argument. Now, if he's telling you to go shoot the cop in the face and we're going to rob this bank, then argue. Be like, babe, that's lie. Then you can argue. But ain't none of y'all husbands doing that. Ain't none of y'all like, all right, we finna stick these niggas up. None of your husbands are doing that. What they're doing is trying to get you in order with a household and guide the kids and structure this and go do this there and that. That's all it is. He ain't sending you to go take over the world or nothing. He's starting with the family, the household, right? Yeah. So there shouldn't be no backbiting or arguing. All right. What else? Okay. All right, well, if that's it, tomorrow, brothers and sisters, we will see you tomorrow for morning Sabbath class. We're here at 10 o'clock. We thank y'all for tuning in. Come with your questions tomorrow, and we'll go over those ones that I missed, all right? Everybody say shalom. Shalom. We'll see y'all in the morning.
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahawashi.